All right, welcome everyone. Today I'm here with we're Sumo, Paint, or not Sumo and Paint. Those are the same person. Sorry. Pop Q2 and Sempra, and we're just gonna discuss pretty much everything from the recent Halo Infinite flight. So I know that's your beautiful intro done by me. Do you guys want to say hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello,
Yes.
welcome.
Perfect.
Hi.
Sorry guys. Sempra apparently got replaced. This is new Sempra. He's probably better, so it'll be better for the stream.
My name Ryder.
All right, before we hop into specifics, because I kind of got it outlined out a little bit. Do you guys want to each give your super kind of just brief overview, or like your brief high level thoughts of this flight, kind of compared to the last one? Pop Q2, you can go first. Do you want me to call you Pop Q2? Is that? Do I have to do this now?
No, you call me whatever. You just keep calling me
Okay.
Halo. Don't make it weird.
All
Don't
right,
make it
all
weird.
right.
I had similar feelings about this flight as I did with the first one, and just to keep it brief, I had a lot of fun. Loving the new sandbox, the physics, and the movement of this game, but it's definitely not perfect, and there's a lot of room for improvement.
Fair enough, Sempra.
I mean, I didn't play the first one, so this is my only experience with it.
All right, that's fair. Sumo.
I have to agree. I
Okay,
feel
good.
the same way. I
Oh
wasn't able to
yeah.
play
You
the
guys
first
didn't
one,
get invited to the first one because you suck. So
but this
Yeah.
one was pretty fun. I think I had a pretty good time playing it.
I think the only reason I got invited this time around is because of that video that I put on Twitter. I shit you not, dude. It's just the timing. It just lines up. It makes too much sense.
Dude, if you wouldn't have got invited to next weekend, I could have sent you my friend code. So, we would have
Yeah,
got
I
you in.
saw
True.
Unisex tweet about that. I'm not sure how that works.
I think it's just if
It-
you're on PC, you can share the friend code to someone who didn't sign up. I think that's what it is. I don't know.
Did I get a friend code?
If they emailed it to you, it should.
I
Everyone
got a
should have
friend
a friend
code.
code. Yeah.
Let's
one's getting it.
go. Oh, nice. They don't deserve it.
Yeah.
No.
All right, yeah. So I'm kind of along the same lines as Mr. Halo himself. This flight's pretty similar to the first one. I mean, they fixed some things, like it performed a little bit better, and we had a little bit more content. But overall, I had a good time on the flight. There's still a lot of improvements that need to be made before this game comes out, but kind of wait and see what happens there. But yeah, overall, I had a good time. I'm like fairly hopeful for Infinite, but there's definite things that need to be fixed. And actually, I think this flight kind of brought to light more issues in terms of like gameplay specific stuff than the last one did, since we actually got to play real people this time. But we'll kind of get into that as we go into specifics. So, what's up?
Would you say this flight gave you more hopium or more copium?
I think it gave me more hopium.
Okay. Yeah, I would say the same as well.
All right, so I figured the first topic we could talk about was kind of just the sandbox in general. So the equipment, the weapons, the abilities, or like just sprint, I guess, since that's the only ability, and I don't know, everything related to the sandbox. We don't have to go through every single weapon and stuff like we did last time. So kind of just bring up topics that you specifically want to talk about as you go. I figured we could kick it off with the assault rifle, since I think that's one that most people have thoughts on. If someone wants to talk about the assault rifle first.
Ooh, the assault rifle. I don't know, BHB. Do you want to just fucking let it on?
I don't want to get yelled at.
All right,
Alright,
I'll
I
start
saw-
it.
I
I'll
saw-
start it.
I
I'll
saw
start
your,
it.
your video did earlier, hey Rash? It didn't
All
do
right.
so well.
Okay, first, before you guys had to guess, or before you guys say, if you had to guess, if most people think the AR is fine or the AR is too broken, what would you say?
I think most people think it's fine, but I strongly
Yeah.
disagree. I think it's way overtuned.
Yeah, it's too good. It's too good. There, I said it. Needs a nerf.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of the way that I felt, and I feel like you could kind of tell last flight, but it wasn't as noticeable because you're shooting bots. But something I really noticed in this flight, because you're fighting competent opponents, is like the assault rifle. Just it's too good at everything. It shreds people close range and outshines some of the weapons that are supposed to be close range weapons, like the shotguns. It's still deadly mid range, and it pretty much outshines the sidekick, in my opinion, mid range. long range it starts to fall off, obviously, but I feel like it's just too effective overall. And it led to a lot of gameplay where I felt like there'd be entire matches where you could just run around with the assault rifle if you wanted. Like, you could pick up a BR or a commando if you wanted, but for the most part, if you wanted to just rock the AR, like, you weren't even really putting yourself at that much of a detriment. Like, there was one point during the flight where I actively made the conscious decision to stop using the sidekick and just use the AR and pickups, and I felt like it was at that point that I started like doing even better since I wasn't using the sidekick. So I don't know if you guys kind of want to expand upon that, or if I kind of covered it.
When I first started playing in the flight, I was using the sidearm because obviously, naturally, as a Halo player, you want to use the precision weapon. And right off the bat, the aim was very weird. So I was like, okay, maybe I just need to get a little better. It's been a while since I played controller. And then I just kept playing with it, and I realized, you know what? Maybe the sidearm isn't fucking working. I don't know. And then I'm learning that there's bloom, and I'm learning that the sidearm's actually trash. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Start using the AR, and all my problems go away. I'm just, without even thinking about just killing people, praying and praying. So people who say the AR is fine I find that very questionable. But to make it short, I think the AR definitely is a little OP. Not saying it's the most strongest AR Halo has ever seen, because that's not true. H4 definitely had a really strong AR.
Well, if
go ahead.
if I could tag on that, I was actually playing H4 today, and as a joke, I tried playing it like how you would play Infinite, and the H4 assault rifle was actually a lot less competent. The bloom
At range,
was
probably.
Yeah.
no, even at mid range, at mid range. I could still get a kill or two, but it was a lot more difficult because the bloom was a lot greater, and it felt like the damage packed a little less punch.
Maybe
Okay.
the problem with everyone thinking the AR is too powerful is because we're stuck with AR and pistol starts, and not everyone can get their hands on a BR in a game. So until we get like BR starts, or maybe like a game mode where we get BR and then AR as a second gun, we could see where it kind of bounces out. Because the BR is also pretty strong too.
Yeah, I think if we had BR AR starts, it might be okay. But I think the problem is, like, with the AR and the sidekick, in my opinion, they're like, one of them isn't an automatic, but they almost serve the same role. They're like a short to mid range weapon. They both suck when people are far away, and so I don't know why we're starting with two weapons that like almost basically do the same thing. Like, the sidekick, I guess, can finish people off quicker if they have no shields, like, kind of. Because the new AR, and I kind of want to go test this. The AR in Infinite, once you pop shields, has to have the fastest time to finish people that any of the ARs have ever had.
I will
Doesn't it
agree
have
with
a
that.
headshot multiplier?
I think
Yeah,
it.
it does,
I
I
think
think.
it. I think it does.
You can headshot
If,
with
I
it.
was being
if that is
told
true,
that
that's the first time for Halo. But
well, Halo 5.
Halo 5 had a headshot
Halo 5
multiplier
had it in the
AR?
beta.
Yeah.
They took it out, didn't they?
Yeah, I was
No
just
way.
say I don't
No
think
way.
it was in the game.
I think they took it out.
Yeah.
No way. Chat, did Halo 5 have a headshot multiplier for the AR at launch? You're not going to tell me I'm crazy. It had.
No, because
it was definitely there.
Because you know that feeling when you're ARing someone your entire clip and their shields are down, and you're still ARing them for what feels like another 3 whole seconds, but it's because there's.
It did only once shields are done. Okay, well that's still a headshot multiplier. I
Well,
think it's the same way
that's
like
how
that in
headshot
Yeah,
multiplier
that's the same way it is now. In this,
Okay. But is it
Okay.
one or do you know if it's like one or two shots to that?
with the AR, I think it's like 2 or 3. In Infinite, we're talking. But
Yeah,
it shoots so fast, and then the part of the problem too is the sidekick's
don't think
bloom
it
is dog shit. So if you miss the first shot, the second shot, like, unless you wait, isn't all that accurate anyways. You know what I mean? Whereas, like, with the AR, you can do a 3-round burst, and I think it's a lot more effective than trying to shoot 3 shots with the sidekick to finish someone off. Which,
especially at a range.
yeah, especially if they're further away, you can kind of spray with the AR a bit. But
yeah,
I think part of the problem too is these maps only having 2 precision weapon pickups. I don't like that. I don't like. I know people don't
I don't
like
like that at all.
when games are dominated by the BR, but I don't like these games where most people are running around with a AR and a sidekick. Like, I want to use a BR, I want to use the commando, but when there's only 2 on the map and then half the time there's not even a BR because of the weird spawn system, it's just the whole game feels odd.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know what some people think it was a problem the way it was in the older Halos, where you spawned with a BR or whatever the precision weapon was for that game,
Yeah.
and they just think the way that played poorly. And I disagree. There were still reasons to move around the map and pick up other weapons. And yes, some weapons weren't great. Some weapons were really situational. But if you picked it up and you played it right, it would be better than the BR in certain situations.
Yeah, like
People just have this act as if when you spawn with the BR, there's no reason to move around the map and no reason to pick up other weapons. That's just not true.
yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, I tweeted this earlier, but a lot of people are acting like this is the first effective assault rifle we've ever
Yes.
had.
Yeah,
And-
I was gonna tweet. I was gonna tweet that same thing earlier.
That
I'm not
to
even
me, I think
that-
that's just blatantly false. Like, this is the
Yes.
most effective assault rifle we've ever had. This is the only Halo, I would argue, where you can just run around with an assault rifle and just use the assault rifle.
Well, are you saying like you actually believe it's the most powerful AR that we've had, or are you saying?
Well, when it comes to powerful, I mean, there's so many things that are factored in there, like time to kill, a bullet spread, like
Yeah, I
reticle
think
range,
Infinites
aim
is
there's just so many different things there. But I think it's the most effective at range. for
yeah,
sure.
I think the Infinites is like the most versatile. Like, so for example, in games that people say there was bad assault rifles, like Halo 3, I don't agree the assault rifle is bad in that game.
No,
I think it had a purpose. It was a close range weapon, and if you comboed it with a grenade or a melee, it was extremely effective. You could easily take someone out that had a battle rifle. You couldn't do that mid range; they'd shit all over your face. But that's the point. It's an assault rifle.
yeah, everyone's top 3 weapons in Halo 3 is like battle rifle, AR, and beatdown.
Yep.
So it definitely was not like useless in Halo 3.
Yeah, and maybe part of that problem is like, I don't know, maybe people just like more remember like comp Halo more, which didn't even have the AR or something. But
Mhm.
even if you play MCC H3 today and you play Ranked Team Slayer, you'll see people use the AR.
Yeah, there's
Like,
situations
top-
where
top-
it's beneficial to use it.
Yeah, like top Slayer players will still use the AR. And then like moving on to H4, Sumer, you were talking about this a little bit, and I was watching you play earlier, which was funny. But the AR in Halo 4 shreds close range. The only problem
Yeah.
with the AR in Halo 4 is the way they did the stupid loadout system. You had to like fuck yourself over to pick the AR, right?
Yes.
And so
With the H4
Well,
AR,
you could do the 2 primaries.
you could, but then you lose whatever perk is in that spot.
That's true.
True.
the H4 AR, I'd argue, didn't have as much range as Infinite's AR.
No,
does.
it doesn't. It doesn't. It didn't. And I know people want the AR to be this like all around weapon, but I think the AR's role in Halo it was like very well defined. It's a close range weapon. It's really good to combo with melee or like grenades. It's good in a pinch if you don't like if someone like they have some shields but maybe not full shields, and you don't want to have to hit multiple precision shots. You can just pull the AR out and just kind of shoot them down because you know they're not going to like out precision shot you. And like even Halo 5, I think the AR was very effective in that game, especially at launch. So I don't get where this what's the word? I don't get where this idea has come up that this is the first time the assault rifle has ever been effective. And CE kids will tell you that it was effective in that game. I never played enough CE to care, but
I think the only good thing about CE's AR was the capacity. You had like 1,000,000 bullets in that thing.
well, it also had a lot of
It did kind of melt in that game though.
It did. It also had a
Oh.
lot of tricks too. Like the AR in that game could do like the quick camo, whereas the pistol couldn't. So I know a lot of people would use, like you would drop your Magnum sometimes for power weapons if you had camo, because then you could quick camo where you couldn't do that if you had a Magnum and a rocket or something like that.
I never knew that.
What you were saying earlier about on H3, people both use the BR and AR situationally. I think that's more of a reason why we have yet to see what Halo Infinite would be like if we would both have BR and AR starts at the same time, or something like that. Maybe Commando and AR, because then we
Yeah.
could compare it further with the other. I guess I don't know what tier you'd put those guns on, but those similar guns.
That is another thing too. If the AR is so good, then why even bother having the commando? The commando probably has better range, but if you guys have ever, just let it rip, it has a lot of bloom and it gets really inaccurate.
With
That
the
is
commando?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to like feather that or burst it.
and that's the thing. Like, yeah, I agree that the AR does need a little few changes, but I definitely people are blowing this out of proportion because the other guns are balanced really like obviously the sidearm needs
yeah,
help.
we
The
can.
commando I think arguably needs more help of the fucking four. The BR
Yeah.
is really strong. I don't know
I like the BR.
if
I think
maybe
the
it needs
BR
a
is in
little
a
less
good spot.
tuning or it's too strong because it does freaking laser. Like I would never use a commando over a BR and that thing is a laser. It kind of gives me H4 like early vibe, or not H4, H5 early vibes, or that
Oh,
thing
for
just
sure.
shredded.
Yeah, like the pre-nerf BR.
Yeah, I hope if they do nerf the BR, it doesn't get that treatment because then it just makes obsolete.
Oh god, if they give it that weird fucking
Yeah, they better not give it some gross recoil.
recoil, yeah.
They gotta make it less lasery, so maybe the commando can outshine it in that regard in the longer ranges.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
agree.
if Halo Infinite is the first game to do this with the BR, but like the spread is like completely predictable. Like I went into just a match by myself and just shot a wall, just unloaded a mag into the wall, and the bullet spread every time was exact, which is just 3 little dots on top of each other, and the further you shoot it from, the separation between those shots is greater. So it's like completely predictable bullet spread. It's not RNG bullet spread at all. So and I really do like that.
Let's talk about the commando though. Like I think we all agree that gun's probably the weakest of the four. Wouldn't you say? 'Cause the
Yes,
bloom and the
no,
recoil
I think
together
it's
just make it so whack to
I
use.
think it's stronger than the sidekick.
Yeah, it does more. Technically, does more damage output, but to use it, the ease of use is nothing compared to the like. I'd rather use the pistol. I got outgunned way many times with the pistol than I did a commando
Well, that's
because
because the pistol sometimes you could just like click it as fast as you can and get lucky.
yeah, like I'm trying to get a gun barrel, the pistol versus with me with a commando, and it feels like impossible.
Yeah. I do think the bloom on the commando is a little ridiculous, but it does
the bloom and
it
the
does
recoil.
reset super fast.
Yeah,
It
I
does.
tried eventually. I just did tap fires, and then the tap fires is like I think it was the bloom. Still, I don't know. It'd work a lot of times if they didn't have a pistol or BR, but other than that, it was just
I think
very iffy
one
gun.
thing that maybe makes the commando feel bad is that unlike the assault rifle, it has descope. So like if you're trying to
Really?
scope in and you're trying to shoot someone that's at a further range and you're taking on someone that has an assault rifle or a sidekick, they descope you and you don't descope them. Which I think like I know technically the scope on the AR and the sidekick doesn't give you added accuracy, but it does like visually give you more like accuracy, you know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah,
when you get kicked out of the commando scope, that messes with your aim.
and the commando is pretty good when you tap fire at long ranges on people. I've gotten kills with that.
Yeah.
The descope once they shoot back to you with like an AR where it's easy to descope someone, it's definitely annoying.
Yeah, I feel like that even goes a little bit for the BR. Not as true because like you can hip fire the BR pretty easily, but I feel like there's situations mid range where like when you take on someone with the BR with the AR, like you can descope them and like almost sometimes win a gunfight you shouldn't because you can just sit there and like you can still be aimed down while they can't be.
Yeah.
But yeah, the I think the sidekick bloom is terrible, man.
I think the problem with Halo Infinite is bloom in general. I would say is just any gun that has bloom right now doesn't
Yeah, let's talk about Bloom.
seem to be
'cause
doing good. Yeah.
I
Why
can't
do you
believe we're
think they
back to this
decided to
point.
bring bloom that is an RNG mechanic into a game that they're trying to make more
I, I think they think it like raises the skill ceiling,
but it
but
really doesn't. It's kind of
what's the reality of the Bloom is that yes, you can control it and you want to pace your shots in certain situations, but some people are going to spam and outgun you. Like they are just going to get lucky and their shots are going to hit.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with Bloom and
Yeah.
this RNG bullet
It's
spread.
more like I feel like it's like trying to learning how to learning how to juggle, but then you also have to ride a unicycle, and that unicycle's bloom. It's like it's just an extra redundant thing that we don't need. Like
I
Yeah.
feel like bloom is a mechanic that's supposed to be like controller friendly, Because if you play a PC FPS, a lot of times, well, this isn't true because Call of Duty does this. You just have set recoils, right? Like that is a better and less RNG way to balance weapons. But for some reason, Halo has always gone toward Bloom, which makes no sense to me. Because yeah, it's just there are ways to play around Bloom. You can pace your shots, you can do it correctly. But like you said, BHB, there's always gonna be someone that just mid range spams at you with the fucking sidekick and doesn't miss a shot, even though you're properly shooting the sidekick and they're not.
Mm-hmm. And that happened to me a
Absolutely.
lot too.
Yeah.
People just going nuts and strafing like a god on me with the sidearm and just somehow getting lucky with the shots.
Yeah.
And I see some people bring up how like the older Halos, the classic games, they also had bloom and bullet spread, but it was hidden. And some people think the only reason people complained about it now or since Reach is because it was visible. No, the reasons people started really complaining about it in Reach is because it was 10 times worse. Like it
Oh
was
yeah.
awful in that game.
Yeah,
It's
I,
not
It was.
just because we could see the reticle expanding. No, it was just a million times worse in that game.
Oh yeah.
and you gotta think about vanilla Reach,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
even
yeah.
view settings.
The
Yeah.
Bloom and Vanilla Reach is some of the most atrocious stuff. Like Infinites isn't on that level by any means, but
No.
I don't know why they would bring back Bloom to this degree, because I know like H4 and H5 have some like visual bloom on the crosshairs, but I don't think effectively if there's any or nearly to the level that Infinite has. So I don't know why they've gone back to this way of gun balancing.
Yeah, like that bloom with the DMR in Halo 4, I don't think it even does anything. Like I think it's just there. But, like
Yeah,
it's
I think
visual.
majority of the community would agree that we all want Bloom out of the game, and hopefully 343 will look at that and they'll take the decision to remove it from the entire game before launch.
yeah, and
I do think a way to kind of remedy it is to have like a predictable bullet spread though. So like if you full auto the commando every
Yeah.
time the spread's the same.
Yeah,
So
the
you
commando
can
can keep its recoil. I think it's fine how it is with that regard.
it's just it's like it has the bloom and it's the problem is the RNG spread and people are going to get RNG kills
Yeah.
while you're being a good little boy and shooting slower and pacing your shots.
Mm-hmm.
You're just going to get dropped. That will happen, and every time that does happen, my fist wants to go through the monitor.
But kind of close to the same thing. I think outside of that, this game feels like it's not as I guess the bullet magnetism and the reticle aim assist is not as strong as other Halos. I don't know if you guys agree. It feels like generally this game would require a little more aim.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
I feel like in that
agree for
regard-
It is a
sure.
little bit lighter.
in that regard, they're doing great. They're making the game like, geez, more skillful.
I'm
Especially
glad
the
they're doing
sniper. I'm thinking about it. I'm really glad they're doing that too. So I'm just saying
Mhm.
like. They're not doing it entirely bad with the aim. It's just the bloom. They're like so close, but they just decide to throw a bloom in there. It really is taking away from what else they're doing great, or good.
that. Yeah, and like I'm fed up with how easy it is to shoot in like all the games in MCC right now.
Yeah, because
Like-
Halo generally you don't even think about shooting a BR. You just obviously hitting.
Yeah,
Sharper with
it's
the BR.
just that aim assist is so sticky, especially in
Yeah.
like H2A. Like
Dude,
I'm so glad that
H2A or
it's not like
H4, it's hard to miss battle rifle shots.
Exactly. And this game for once makes you feel like I actually gotta, I feel like I feel more rewarded when I kill someone.
Yeah.
Now, and that's why Bloom is so annoying because like you just know like it's just right there from feeling amazing, and the
Yeah.
aiming. That's another thing that we'll
Yeah.
get into. But the aiming is like if it was only good, the game could be perfect. It'd be like
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Like they did a lot right with this game, and now they're making these just completely unnecessary. They're taking these unnecessary missteps right now.
Exactly.
Like that.
exactly.
I thought we covered all this back in Reach of why Bloom was bad. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. I kind of agree there.
I'm just not sure if removing bloom altogether would be a good idea. Maybe lessening it, because if you took it away altogether, then that might blur the lines between using a commando and an AR, because then they would both be kind of like lasery.
Well, the AR thing is the Bloom with precision weapons is that it makes it when you spam it, your shot can go.
You can
who
still
knows
have
where the fuck
spread.
goes.
That's different than
For an
blue.
automatic gun, it makes sense for it to have quote unquote Bloom because it's an AR. It's an automatic gun it's fireable spread, right? It just
Yeah.
naturally how guns go. But in terms of a precision weapon like a pistol, it's really annoying when you're spamming it and it's like I don't know if I'm gonna hit a headshot, but I'm gonna spam this bitch, and hopefully I'm
That makes
luckier
sense.
than the other guy.
And it's a dice roll. Who gets
And
the
I'm
kill?
and I'm
Sometimes.
trying to aim my best here, but regardless. Yeah, you guys want to get into the aiming feel, like the clunkiness and other stuff?
Yeah, sure. We can talk about
You-
that.
That's a
Did you
big
guys
one.
feel like it was clunky? Because I personally, I thought it was pretty snappy. I had a couple of issues with my controller because I'm using a PlayStation 5 controller, so obviously I had to do a couple like third party connections and whatnot. But after all of that, I was getting some, the aim assist, I will agree, was a lot lighter than in previous games. But other than that, I felt like looking around, the acceleration, the sensitivities, everything felt pretty natural. It didn't feel sluggish to me. It actually felt a lot more crisp than like Halo 4, for me personally.
I think we should
Yeah.
mention also what kind of frames we were playing with individually, because that can also, like, just because everyone was on different builds and like consoles,
Yeah.
so a lot of
I
this
was
can.
on 120, I think, 120 FPS.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like 110 to 120.
I
Yeah,
was
I'm
around
looking at your
80.
frames right now. Oh shit, I was right there with you, Rash.
Yeah.
Like 110 to 130.
Well, your PC is like
Um,
13 years old, Sempra, so you got some improvements to
And
make.
MW shitted on it today, so maybe it might be less. But when I first played the flight, I definitely felt it right away, like the difference from traditional Marne aiming in MCC versus whatever the fuck I was doing in Infinite. It just immediately I had to mess with the dead zones and the sensitivity to feel somewhat comfortable. And then eventually when I played it more, I got used to it. But when you switch back to MCC, it feels way cleaner, I would say.
when I played Flight 1 for the first time, immediately, like, I noticed something with the aim, and I actually stopped and, like, looked around. I thought something was fucked up. Like, I'm like,
That's how I felt
what
too.
the hell? But this flight, I actually didn't notice it, and I don't think I would describe it as sluggish or clunky. Um, it just the main issue I think people found with it is just like the aim assist being really low, and I think that's mainly the part of that's because people are trying to cross map with like a weapon like the sidekick, which isn't meant to do that, but you kind of have to do that because sometimes people have precision weapons. So I think like weapon balancing needs to be looked at some more. But
Yeah, maybe
overall, all I have to say about the aiming is they toned down the aim assist, and that's why
maybe
it was harder.
a part of it has to do with performance issues of the flight, like inconsistent performance across people's
Yeah, I have
whatever they were playing
performance
on.
issues.
And another thing could be like you said, this game is a lot different from other Halos in terms of how you aim and like how the game will assist you in hitting things. Like people might not be used to this type of bullet magnetism or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe eventually when the game comes out, they'll clean up a little bit and optimize the game, and it'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, I would say like overall, well, I mostly played this flight on mouse and keyboard, so I guess my experience obviously would be different than you guys 'cause you mostly played
Yeah, you should
controller.
share your mouse and keyboard experiences.
Dude, I legitimately, like, after playing a lot of Infinite over this weekend and the previous flight, I think Infinite is worse on mouse and keyboard than MCC. Just because,
Hot take.
like, not well, partly because of the performance and the fact we still can't play on proper frames, but I think it's the mechanics of the game. Like, the strafe speeds are just ridiculous in this game, and I feel I'm not saying aim assist is OP, but I think it's easier to compensate for really like ridiculous strafe speeds with a controller. And it's a lot smoother than trying to do it on mouse and keyboard when you have these people like 2 feet from you strafing extremely quickly. Plus, on top of that, you're trying to use the sidekick that just like weirdly inconsistent. I don't know.
Are you saying that mouse felt worse in this than MCC, or are you saying that there was like a bigger gap between controller and mouse?
No,
and
because
keyboard?
I think controller is harder to use in this game too. So I
think it's extremely hard.
yeah,
If
yeah,
anything,
yeah.
I
So
got the feeling that mouse and keyboard players would dominate with being able to like shoot longer distances with the AR and the sidekick.
you
That's
can do
kinda-
that for sure. That's true. My issues mostly in this were when people are like close to mid range, and that I think that's more maybe partly the maps that we played too, because they were all smaller maps. But
Because when it comes to aim assist, I don't think that was helping people much at all. I mean, some people, I saw many people that just didn't know if they were getting aim assist, not just because of the no red reticle, but like they were just like,
I saw
some people thought it was a bug, like
I
they weren't getting it.
saw some people saying you didn't get aim assist on like PlayStation controllers if you didn't set it up right.
Yeah, I think I heard that as
So
well.
maybe that
So,
was like if you weren't playing an Xbox controller, but no, I don't know. The like handful of games that I played on a controller, like I felt it easier to track people close range in an AR fight than when I was trying to do it on mouse and keyboard. But
Mm.
I like here, actually this is perfect. I think regardless of input method, I think this is too quick. Oh, did I hold
Are
on.
you gonna talk about the strafe speed?
Yeah,
for
yeah,
mouse
yeah.
and keyboard?
Watch
let's
this.
see it.
Okay.
Let's
So
see
like
it.
I'm not a god, but tell me who's going to track that.
I mean, to be fair, you're kind of just holding W at him. I don't know.
I mean I am, but like
Like,
I guess
Halo's
if
kind
you
of a game where
predict it
aim
and
with
you
your
and you
movement as
yeah,
well.
this is true. This is true. But I would argue that's probably the fastest strafe speed's ever been in Halo. Like the speed at which the characters like switch speed, and there's almost no. I think it's smoother in other Halo games, even if the strafe speed's faster. Like it's more obvious the character's changing directions. Where in this game they just kind of like yeet the other direction. I don't know.
I like that, and I mean that is definitely something that widens the skill gap. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it's harder to hit, but
yeah, I
like
agree. I like the move.
I'm
I like the speed of strafes in this game.
like I like a lot of the things that make it harder to shoot in this game. I like because like I said, playing MCC these last several months and nobody missing their shots. I'm so fed up with that, and
Yeah,
I'm glad we're getting a game where people can miss shots.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean,
I know you're saying it's too much,
I would
but
take
I
that
don't
over
know.
playing like fucking Halo 4 MCC where it's just you just get 4-shot all day.
Do you guys think maybe it's like a bit of placebo from all these Halo players complaining that they're not getting aim assist because there's no red crosshair when they're shooting at someone? Like they're
Oh, I'm
just so
sure
used
that's
to
some of
seeing
it.
that
I'm sure
they
that's
without
yeah.
it they don't know if they're actually hitting or not. And do you
Yeah.
guys prefer to not have it red, or do you want them to make that a thing again?
To be quite honest, the entire time that I was playing the flight, that is one thing that I never noticed
Really,
until
I agree.
afterwards when
I
someone
same.
mentioned it. I
I
didn't even
never
know
cared about it.
really.
that the red crosshair wasn't in the game.
Wow.
I was just,
I didn't notice
killing
either.
people and
Same.
like having a good time, and I felt like my kills were it worked. I felt like it wasn't like, oh, I wasn't in range, or sometimes there were people across the map a ways, and I would sidearm them or sidekick them, and it would do pretty good, and I'd kill them. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I noticed that right away. And maybe that's because I just play Halo.
Yeah, I was
So
going to
like
say
the smallest changes stand out to me.
I think one reason maybe we don't recognize it as much is cuz like we play
We
other
play
shooters
modern games.
like Valorant and stuff where you can change the crosshair color. So it never changes colors anyways. You're just like used to
Mhm.
it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Someone in chat said Frosty thinks the strafe acceleration is too high, so for once I agree with Frosty.
What?
Frosty
Fuck.
has a lot of opinions.
Yes,
A lot
but
of
this
interesting
one
hot
agrees
takes.
with me, so I'm on board this time.
Maybe he just got strafed the fuck out one time. He's like, nope,
Dude, honestly,
nope.
that's probably why I hate it, because I got strafed the fuck out a few times.
He couldn't handle it with his controller aim. He's probably playing on 3.2 cents.
Well, and that's how I always felt in Halo 4. I felt like I was breaking my thumb strafing, and it wasn't doing anything.
Oh, in Halo
wasn't
4, there's no
making
strafe.
better
Your
shots
character
at
is a
all.
fucking log, man. He just stands there. That's what Halo 4 is the easiest. Well, besides H2A, H2A and Halo 4 are like the easiest games to shoot people because the characters are so slow and like unresponsive. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm. I don't know how many people were doing it in this flight, but you can crouch while just holding forward on controller. I forget how many how many Halo games allowed you to do that. I think you could do it in 5.
You could do it in 5. You
Um,
could do it in 4 too. You could do it in
could you do it in 4?
all the 343
Not
games like
Reach.
post
Okay.
reach. And you could do it
Okay.
yeah, so it's just every game post reach cuz CE you can't even move while crouching.
Real.
Cuz CE's fucking weird. But yeah, it was so it's just H2A 4 and 5 where you
You
can
think they will like if enough people cry about, well, not cry. That's a. If enough people complain about it, you think they'll
Whoa.
make it a thing?
Make what a
They
thing.
might.
The red crosshairs.
Oh,
They might do that.
well, the people were saying the reason it's like that. Unisheck said it was a anti-cheat thing, so I don't think they'll
Yeah,
change it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I feel like that's a
my
very band-aid solution to a cheating problem.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
I
that's
do
just like a
too, but
complete cop out. It's like you're basically telling, like, you're taking something that's been in Halo for the last 20 years, and you're saying, well, cheaters might exploit it, so we're just going to take it out so we don't have to worry about it. At that point, the cheaters are winning. Like, I mean, other games have red reticle.
I would
And
also say Counter-Strike and Valorant are like notorious for, well, maybe not Valorant as much, but Counter-Strike is notorious for having like trigger bots. And that game doesn't have red reticles, so
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I
I'm
don't think
pretty
it
sure
matters.
there's ways to get around that. Like,
yeah, so
Yeah.
those games do have it.
Yeah, they have trigger bots
Stuff
out
like
out
that.
the yeehaw.
Yeah, that's what I suspected. And then MCC has red reticle. Do they just not care about all the games in that? Yes, there are cheaters in MCC, but it's not like the cheat that he described, where it just shoots when your reticle
No,
turns
the
red.
cheaters in fucking
That's-
MCC fly around the map.
Fly around, and their
They're just
bullets
have
and their
free boost.
shots lock, even if they're not even looking at you. That's another thing that happens in MCC.
Yeah,
so,
MCC is like a whole new level of cheating.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay.
How
Well,
would you guys say how like the slide felt and all that jazz? Because this game doesn't have like H5's incredible movement, but it is that like nice mix between classic Halo and movement Halo. You know
I
what mean?
think so. Playing this directly after playing the Vanguard beta, which is a terrible game, the slide in this game is actually way shittier. It's like way clunkier compared to like a Call of Duty or an Apex, which is fine once you get used to it, but it was like a little jarring at first. My only issue with the movement in this game is the fact that people can just sprint away from me, gather their shields, and then turn around and fight me. I hate that shit. Like,
Did they speed up the sprint speed?
I
Because
don't
I
think
felt
so.
like people were running away.
No,
from getting
I
away
don't
by
think
sprint.
I don't think the bots were competent enough to run away from you, man.
People,
No, I'm just saying, like, when you go in and test it, like you did your little clip thing, you walked behind the guy.
Yeah.
He wasn't really getting away from you at all. But I felt like people were zooming away. I mean, that's just the way it felt.
definitely when it's definitely
Oh,
like
I
H4
have a
all over
clip.
again. When people are one shot, they just sprint endlessly until they're
I think
recharged.
the big thing is BHB. My clip assumes that someone is just going to straight sprint, whereas most people that are
Mhm.
competent and they're getting away from you, they're going to throw in slides, like going down ramps and stuff to go faster.
That I
For real.
really liked. But I will say that something that I did miss was kind of like the ramp jumps from Halo 3, where if you hit a ramp at a right angle and you jump at the same time, it gives you like a little boost of momentum. I like that kind of movement from H3. I did like Infinite Slide because you could kind of do that if you timed the slide right with a ramp. You could, get some pretty good momentum, and you could slide pretty far. And if you also give a little jump, you could go a little farther after that. But yeah, the slide was a little clunky. Outside of that specific situation, it's really slow, and it doesn't really offer anything in terms of like evasion or anything else really.
Yeah, have you seen some of the text that people are doing with slides though?
Yeah, there's some nutty stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
Or like
I heard-
using like comboing the repulsor or the grapple shot with the slide. You can get around the maps pretty damn fast.
That stuff is cool. Like the repulsor and the grav lifts, like you could just super jump. I've tried that, and that's really fun.
Yeah, you guys want to
Yeah.
talk about the grappler and repulsor? I think they're really fun.
Very fun.
Yeah, sure.
And,
Why
like,
don't we
because of
They're
the
Hold
such a
on.
great addition to the sandbox.
before
Yes.
we hit those, why don't we just finish out the rest of the weapons before we like completely lose them? So do you guys have any thoughts on any of the weapons besides like the main four?
Well, I guess we should go into the other weapons like the bulldog and
Yeah,
the heat wave
so-
and all that crap.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess you just brought up the bulldog and the heat wave, so we can talk about those. I think they both suck. I don't know. The bulldog is atrocious. There's some people in chat think it's good. I think it's useless. Just use the AR.
No, I think the
Bulldog
bulldog
definitely needs a buff.
the bulldog needs a slight buff, but it's kind of edging the line where it might be too strong. Where you just from a this ugly range. You just absolutely one shot someone.
Yeah, but it doesn't one shot at all. It's a guaranteed
No,
two
I'm saying
shot.
it's edging the line where if you buff it,
Okay.
it might get to that point. I'm saying like we don't want that. But I was using the grappler with it and kind of just running at people, and I was doing really great with it. And I was thinking like maybe people are looking at the AR. It's like, oh, the AR is just way too good. Like, why even use a bulldog? That they don't give the bulldog enough a chance.
Yeah, I
But
think
It
maybe the
should.
problem with the shotguns isn't the
it's just getting
shotguns.
overshadowed.
Yeah, it's the AR. It's the fact that why pull out the bulldog, which is like a guaranteed 2-shot, possibly a 3-shot if they're kind of far away, when you could just AR them.
Because
Yeah.
I would,
Yeah,
I would run
that's
in their
how I
face,
felt.
hit them with a bulldog, and just melee like it was any other Halo game. And I was
Yeah,
pretty
you,
fine with
you
that.
can still do that, but you could also just probably, unless they were right on top of you and they caught you off guard, you could also just AR them. By the time they got to you, you probably could trade it with a melee, even if they had the
It
bulldog.
also doesn't help that the BXB thing was a problem this
That's true.
flight. Everyone was doing that.
That really fucks
Definitely
the
made
balance of a lot
definitely
of
hurt the
stuff.
shotguns. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about
Yeah.
the BXB?
And
Fun.
it was really
So
fun
much
to
fun.
do, like really fun.
Fucking loved it, man.
And I wish a button combo like that was in the game, but this is too easy and it
Yeah.
has to go.
You could literally, I
problem-
loved it. You could just spam it. Fucking, we were playing with BK one day, and he bound melee to mouse 1 and reload to mouse 2. And he would just run around spamming it because there was no timing to it. You could just spam it as fast as you wanted.
Yeah. And like some people are saying they want it to stay. I mean, like I don't get
it's fun, but it's too easy, and it completely.
like that's basically the default melee is the BXB.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
default
Yeah.
melee is basically a one-hit melee. Like,
Yeah.
And it's too cheesy because once everyone starts doing it, like it's fun to do, but when someone does it to you, you're like, oh, that's bullshit, and it really is, because if you're in a fight and you're trying to, do it legitimately, having someone just slap you 2 times before you could blink is not really, fair by any means.
I would
lie. There was a.
I
Go ahead.
was gonna say, I would argue the worst thing the BXB did in this game was like you would just be wrapping a corner and some fucking rat would just be sitting there and just insta double melee you. Like, oh,
Yep.
cool. Glad you fucking waited in that corner to do that. And
Yeah.
I won't lie, I did
Yep.
that to people too.
I'm not
but
gonna
like,
lie. There was a lot of moments where the BXB actually saved me in a clutch moment.
Oh
when I
yeah,
was
for sure.
weak, and that felt
definitely.
pretty good. But the problem with the BXB is that the lunge lock on in this game is
Yeah,
way too
it's
strong.
nutty.
It's like stronger than H3's arguably. And on top of that, unlike H2 where you actually had to time the BXB, otherwise you'd cancel your hitbox. In this game, you hit every melee you just swing out. So it's just
Yeah.
you're just like a melee machine gun.
No, yeah, that's the thing. You could spam it as fast as you wanted, like with the button prompts, and it didn't matter.
And you hit
'cause
every
they,
with the crazy lunge and hitting every it's just like
they'd connect. Yeah, because
absolutely nuts.
in H2, I don't know if you remember this, but we've played H2 before, and I always complain because I always fuck up the BXB in that game because I always cancel the melee too fast, so it doesn't do damage. And I'm like, God damn it! Like it fucking did the combo, but I never had the timing right. Whereas in this game, you roll up to someone, you just click it as fast as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In Halo 2, you had to get the timing right, and even when you did get it right, it wasn't as fast as this BXB is.
Yeah, for sure.
And in Halo 2, that was back when I think you needed 3
You did.
straight melees
You
to
did,
kill
yeah.
someone. Too.
Well, that was only like if like you weren't moving, right?
No,
It's like
it was
because the damage.
momentum base.
Yeah, damage was a momentum, and also I think that was back when you could still do more melee damage with certain weapons, right? Like the rockets and the.
I wasn't a
yeah,
Halo 2 kid, so I don't know.
Pre 2005, you could jump and get a one-hit melee with the rockets in Halo 2.
Yeah,
You can
and
do that in H2A right now.
Yeah.
I have
Interesting.
a weapon to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm very disappointed in the way that they went about it, because it essentially became useless. There's no reason to use it. The plasma pistol.
Oh yeah, they
There's
killed
no-
that thing.
There's
It's
no
dead.
EMP. That the EMP is what carried the plasma pistol in any regards, because other than that, the damage output, it blows dick. There's no reason to use it over like a sidekick if you're trying to go for pistols.
No, it has really bad
Sidekick strip
tracking in this
shields
game
faster,
too.
Would you?
Yeah.
So that it's not like some H5 where you just smart zoom and it locks on pretty
No,
well.
it doesn't lock at all in this game. It's poop.
Yeah, I never
Yeah, it's
really
so
touched the plasma
slow.
pistol, to be
It's
honest, so
so
I
bad.
can't
It's
say.
like trying to use like the H3 plasma pistol, but like the characters move faster. So you just
Well,
never hit anyone.
I mean, there was a couple times where like it came in clutch. Like it's only a couple shots that you got to get into somebody before you can get the melee.
Oh, if you're just
Um,
if you're like tapping it instead of
yeah,
using
you
the
just
charge.
yeah, it was just like it felt like 2 or 3, and then I could get a melee off. But again, you do strip shields faster with the sidekick, so
Yeah.
How long does it take to recharge compared to other Halos? Did you say it was faster or like about the same?
Probably about the same there.
wow, missed the jump. Wow,
Yeah, that was
Dude, that didn't happen, guys. No
Come
one,
on,
just close your
man.
eyes. All right, it didn't happen. All right.
you guys want to talk about the heat wave or you?
Yeah, you can.
Oh yeah, the heat wave.
So the heat wave, everyone says it's bad and it's weak, which I agree. Definitely needs like, I think obviously just a damage boost. I think it's just the problem there. But I did use it a lot when it's in close range. I just shoot someone once with the horizontal one and melee it, and that was fine. But if you were trying to hit someone vertically at like even a medium range, it was very weird.
Dude,
And
I
I
didn't
didn't
use
feel like it did enough.
Yeah, using if you were trying to finish people with just shooting them, it was better to use it vertically. But I pretty much never did because it was so weird and hard to hit people. I normally just did what you said, whereas I would just use it close range and I would just horizontal and punch because when you were horizontal, it was really easy to hit people. It just didn't do that much damage, but it did enough that you could finish them off with a melee.
It definitely didn't feel like a power weapon at the end of the day.
No,
Yeah, I felt like I used it vertical the most time, and I felt like I would put the reticle on somebody, pull the trigger, and then they would just move out of the way of the projectile.
yeah, you
before
had to
it
like
touched them.
lead them for sure if you were doing
And
vertical.
that's how I felt with a lot of these like power the shotgun, the heat wave, and Pulse Carbine, Needler, all these weapons. I'm like, you know what? I could just why even mess with these weapons when I could just pull out the AR?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's how I felt for the most part.
Yeah, that you basically hit it on the head there. Is a lot of like what I would consider like, because they're more like side grades. They're not like straight power weapons, right? Or what would they be? They're probably considered like your tier 2 weapon or whatever. All of those guns in this game are currently overshadowed by the assault rifle. So why bother with them when you could use the assault rifle that might not be 100% more effective in a specific scenario, but it's so much more well-rounded than all of those weapons. Because like the plasma carbine, there's no projectiles, so you just shoot people. The bulldog and the heat wave, well, you don't have to worry if they're like 2 feet away from you. You know, you have more range. The plasma pistol, like, I mean, honestly, the assault rifle is just better, but like it's the problem with kind of all those weapons.
And even some of those weapons that are better in close range, well, the AR is better in more situations.
Yeah, exactly. So you just like roll the AR and you kind of just don't stand right on top of people,
And
right?
Major, I see you saying that said the Needler is the AR but better. But the thing with the Needler is it's it's got a track, the projectiles travel slower. I felt like I would dump a clip in somebody and they would just move behind the wall and everything would miss. And then they just
really? I feel like I got absolutely shredded by people with Needler sometimes.
I felt like I think it caught a nerf.
Needler, though.
The new Needler seemed
Needler's
alright.
always had that problem.
The new Needler made me think a lot of like the Halo 3 Needler, where it was like usable, but it also was a weapon I never bothered to pick up. Like it's okay if you catch someone in the open and you can dump the whole mag into them, but the second there's cover around and they can juke into the cover and like break your shots, you just won't kill them because you won't put enough in them to super combine them.
And these maps have a lot of cover.
Yeah, exactly. They have a lot of doorways. They have a lot of like random pieces of cover. There's a lot of like pillars and shit that you can juke behind. So it makes it really easy to make the Needler not all that effective.
You guys want to talk about? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I feel the same way about the Pulse Carbine. Pulse Carbine, it felt really slow. That gun felt really sluggish. It just like it's just it when you shoot it, it's a 3-burst thing, right? And the projectiles seem like they immediately fall off. They immediately just do a downward arc. And I feel like I'm always missing. I feel like if you're gonna use a gun like that, might as well use the Ravager if you can find it, because it'll do the job better.
That it's hard to hit shots with it.
Yeah, like you can melt people if you hit all your
the
shots.
damage is on
when
point.
you're playing against competent players, like they could just juke behind a wall real quick so it misses.
I would say the damage was on point, but laying the shots because it was so slow and
If people are
definitely was a
just
problem.
walking at you in a straight line, yeah, you're
Yeah.
gonna think the Pulse Carbine is great.
Like you're trying to shoot someone, not even across the map, like a medium range, and the thing is so slow that you don't even have a snail could dodge it.
Yeah.
Snail?
The
Snail?
Ravager, they in the past flight, the fire wasn't working right.
That's what I heard.
But
Yeah, it worked in this flight. I love the
I never
Ravager.
got to use it the last flight, but this flight, I really liked it a lot.
Yeah,
It
the
was a good like
Ravager's
area damage gun, like area control in the way where you could just charge if you want and shoot it, especially in strongholds. You just shoot it on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
force
really like
people
the
out of
gun.
areas.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
the
for
Ravager's
once, like
good.
Halo has, aside from the fire grenades in H3, like for once we actually have something that is effective in that regard.
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah.
the
I mean, we
Ravager's
did have the power drain, but
True,
true.
but power drain was more like a tool that assisted in kills versus a Ravager that actually would
oh yeah,
kill you.
it will.
I think the Ravager's probably like my favorite of the new weapons because it feels like it has a good place in the sandbox. Like it's useful. You can use that
Yeah,
area of effect thing, but you can also just use the burst. That also kills people pretty well too, you know?
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I really like the Ravager. I don't really have bad things to say about that at all.
You guys want to talk about the rockets because I feel like that needs a little tuning.
Dude, the rockets, the area of effect seems really big.
Yeah, and the fire rate is way too fast.
Yeah.
I thought they felt very inconsistent. I
Well,
don't even know how I feel
I
about
think
them.
that I think the problem is like the area of effect. Like it's probably too big, but then sometimes you think it'll hit them and it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree
this game
with
had.
Pop. It was kind of inconsistent. I agree with you.
I mean, there was times where I was the rocket was right on them and they weren't dying. I feel like there was a lot of desync in this game,
Oh,
and maybe
there
they
was
weren't where I was seeing them. There was so many times I would run behind the wall and just die, and it reminded me of like PUBG desync, which was really bad.
yeah, there were some good clips I saw people just getting shit on around walls. I think we're playing on some solid like 5-tick servers. I would love to know. I don't know. It felt like I was playing like in a lot of matches this weekend. It felt like I was playing with pretty high latency. Like it's like shit felt delayed. Like sometimes like melees felt like a little bit too long to connect. I would die around walls and stuff. So I wasn't a big fan of that.
I agree, Theta.
What did? Yeah, okay, so from flight 1 to flight 2, I do feel they've added a little bit of physics to the gravity hammer. Did you guys notice that? There were multiple scenarios where like someone hit me with it and I didn't die and it pushed me away. And
Really? I feel. Or
I
finish
didn't
sentence.
notice.
oh yeah, I was gonna say I didn't notice that in the first flight, but it's still way toned down compared to like a Halo 3.
Okay, a lot of people saying the gravity hammer is ass and they hate it, but I think the problem is that they're so used to the prior gravity hammer, and this one is so vastly different from the prior one that they're just not used to it. I was doing really good with it, and I had a buddy who was doing really great with it, and I think it's pretty like good. It kills
Oh, it's
well.
definitely not. It's definitely not
No?
ass.
Yeah, it's
No,
definitely,
I'm
it's
saying that,
definitely
yeah,
not
it's
ass.
definitely not ass.
Yeah, it's definitely not ass.
It's definitely good, but I just prefer the way it worked
Yeah,
in
people
Halo
are
3 with the
expecting it to
gravity
work
effects
like
and
the H3 way, and they're not used to how this one works. But maybe they should tune it to make it a little more like the traditional way. But right now, I think it's not weak in any regard.
No, I think you
I think
could.
the
I think. Sorry, go Sumo.
No, my bad.
No, no.
It's just the main issue that I was encountering a lot of the time was, which obviously is going to be patched out, was the BXB in as a counter to
Yeah,
using the gravity hammer.
Yeah,
So I guess I couldn't actually experience how good it is because people would just fucking like slap me in between the wind up.
You're winding up the hammer. You just
Yeah.
pop, pop, pop.
that did happen a lot actually, and it was pretty
What
funny.
makes this gravity hammer better, I think, is that the AOE is a lot greater than the prior.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, but they like kind of substituted AOE for the lunge because now there's none.
Yeah, but I think like
But do
someone
you
said
even
that
need the lunge?
yeah,
No.
it differentiates it from the sword.
I
It
think
makes it
Ye-
gives it more of that brute feeling. You know?
yeah,
Like, it's
I like
fucking
the
big
way it is
whack.
now. I think the only tweak I'd maybe want to see is just give it more outside of like the kill range. Just have it push people back more. And I think I'd be pretty happy with that.
So people, I've seen many people say that, like about how it's different than the sword now, but I kind of disagree because it doesn't have like its gravity physics that it had in Halo 3. That made it really unique. The sword didn't have that in Halo 3. And so if anything, I think it's more like the sword now.
Sword's still gonna have. Well, we haven't had the sword, obviously, but
Yeah.
I assume the
'Cause
sword is gonna have the
it was
lunge and shit.
the hammer was just so unique in Halo 3, where you could boost yourself up, make people
Yeah,
go
you
flying
could.
and stuff like that. It deflects rockets and shit with it.
I mean, have
Like
you guys seen that in training mode, like, and even in the custom things that people have been able to like trick the game into putting them in a custom match, you can change the settings to where there is knockback, like from grenades
yeah,
and there's like similar to how it would be in Halo 3. So I would
yeah.
imagine people have made the argument they could just turn it up. If it's already in the game in the settings and you
Oh
can turn
yeah.
it up for a custom, might as well just turn it up like altogether.
Hey,
hmm
maybe. Yeah, actually, it's funny you brought that up with the customization because I also heard that like there's gonna be a bunch of settings for the game modes in Infinite. Like you'll be able to toggle off bloom and other crap is what I heard. So if that's true, that's gonna be very good for the game in terms of like the esports settings, whatever, and just other stuff in general. If you don't like it,
True.
Yeah.
But
like
do
if
we
it's true
want?
that they have this much freedom, it's definitely gonna be
I
good.
was gonna say something, but never mind.
Oh. I mean,
I
just
don't.
don't.
I don't know. I was gonna say like, do we want like vastly different
Yeah,
settings
that's
like
the
from the
problem though.
casual
Like
and
if the
But then I
the
thought about it
game
and I'm like,
itself,
yeah,
like
I don't want
casual,
both.
is so far away from comp, it's gonna hurt it.
I
Like,
I don't. Okay, let me see how to word this. Okay, so like in H3 or Reach, the comp settings are fucking like a different game. Well, less in 3, but in Reach the comp settings are a different game than vanilla.
yeah.
And there's a
Oh yeah.
reason for that. I don't want to play vanilla Reach competitively.
Nope.
However, I think what we saw from Halo 5 and what we've seen from any modern game is if the esport is going to be developer backed, they're going to effectively be playing the same game that we play in matchmaking. Like the only differences I see are maybe weapon pickups on maps and like radar, maybe weapon starts. But
Yeah.
other than that, I don't see a world where comp has no bloom and regular game has bloom, or
And
comp has like teammate collision and regular games don't, or something like that. I think it'll all be the same.
Yeah,
yeah, that kind of. Or go ahead.
I was gonna say we know the difference in like there's no grenade hit markers. That's not minor.
That's
I
true, but
guess.
that's like super minor.
Yeah. Well, I mean
Um,
it's minor, but it's not minor. I know.
It makes a huge difference, but like cosmetically, it's pretty minor.
Yeah.
and that's the thing with what we were talking about earlier. Like the game is so close to being such a good FPS. If they just fixed it, we wouldn't have to be worried about like what we're gonna have to remove for better competitive integrity. You know.
I agree. I would prefer they just fix the whole game, right? I don't
Right.
want the comp scene to have to change a bunch of shit to
Yeah.
make a good comp game. Just make the game good.
Exactly.
Because like a lot of these changes are small and won't affect the casual experience anyways. So why not just do them right the first time? You know?
Just
Exactly. That's what it's like.
turn up the good.
That's where the hopium's high because the game's like so close to just
Yeah.
being right there. You know.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes I think the comp scene, if you let them run it, they take it too far. The game becomes too bland.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because they'll try and make the most competitive and most like not streamlined per se, but they'll make the game as like they'll make it so that if you're good at the game, you'll always win, which is ideal for a competitive game. But like there needs to be some fun stuff for like casuals to see when they're watching, you know? So
Mm-hmm. We still have to talk about the spiker and the sniper. I don't know if there's any other guns outside of that, but
there's the shock rifle thing.
oh yeah, that as well.
Very unique weapon.
I
I didn't
actually
get
really,
to use it at all.
I
but
got it
I
in
used it on
one
Behemoth.
behemoth game. Yeah, there was one behemoth game where I got it. It seems okay.
No,
It's cool how it disables vehicles, but
I think it's actually kind of a little strong because it disables vehicles and it's easier to hit shots than the sniper. And if you hit him in the head, it's instant kill. And if you hit them near their teammates, it hurts them as well. Does arc damage.
no,
yeah.
So it
when
has
you
a lot of.
shoot
Sorry, go
for
ahead.
the headshot, is it like one shot or does it shoot like a little like burst of it
It
Kind of
shoots
like
like
the
a-
binary
It shoots a little
rifle in
burst. You
Halo
have to
3.
hold it on them.
Okay.
Yeah. You have to hit the. If you want to hit one headshot with them, you have to hold it there for a sec.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty unique.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like the gun.
Oh yeah, and you can chain it if you
Yep.
shoot weapons on the
Yeah,
ground.
yeah.
That's so
Yeah,
unique.
it's
Like,
actually
I
pretty
I
cool.
love shit like that.
I think Halo Infinite in this game has a lot of new unique guns that really are amazing. Like, think of some of the leaked ones that I saw. Not, I don't know if we want to talk about that sometime, but from what I saw, they're very unique and definitely adds to the sandbox.
I really wanted to see that
The
stalker rifle,
the
but
cinder
that
shot looks
wasn't a
really
thing.
cool.
Yeah, the one that you hold and you can aim it like where
Yeah.
it goes, fly.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's amazing.
Yeah, that one looks really cool.
The spiker, what do you guys think of the spiker? I thought it was trash.
The Ravager, is that what it's called?
Or
Yeah.
no,
Fuck
it's a spiker, not.
No, it's
Or is
the.
it right?
Oh no, it's not the Ravager. It's the Skewer.
Oh, the skewer. Yeah, the
Yeah.
skewer.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Alright.
It's dog. It for some I don't know why it's on arena maps. It's not good against infantry. And then on Behemoth, it's cool to use against a vehicle, but I'd just rather have the sniper.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like interchangeable the sniper on maps.
No,
It's so
I want
odd.
to talk about that too before we move on from weapons. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't care for the Skewer, especially like on Behemoth. It's like a power weapon that was almost it almost filled the role of like a weapon pod for me, or a missile pod from Halo 3, where it was
Mhm.
only effective against vehicles because you weren't going to cross map someone with it. The projectile speed is so fucking slow. You were
Yeah, that really it pissed me off.
you were never
You-
going to hit them.
Do you think it was a little too strong against vehicles? Because I feel like it was.
It did. It shit on vehicles, but like that was the only thing it did. I'd rather it be like somewhere more in the middle because it was a power weapon. It wasn't a utility pickup, you know?
Do you think it's
Mhm.
gonna hurt the experience of BTB and like heavies and all that?
Dude, I
crap?
think BTB is gonna be. We'll see how it is this weekend. I think BTB is gonna be weird. There's so much shit in this game that shits all over vehicles. Like the repulsor, you can just like flip people
Yep.
or shoot them off the map. The grapple shot is an instant like jack if you hit them, and you have 3 charges. If they're anywhere near you, you just grapple shot to them and you take their vehicle. Then the skewer destroys vehicles. Obviously, the rockets will destroy vehicle. The battle rifle and the commando are pretty lasery. You're going to be able to shoot people out of vehicles pretty easy if you have those. I think there's going to be a lot of stuff to be able to take out the weaker vehicles. Not necessarily a tank, but like the Warthogs and stuff, I think are going to be pretty easy to deal with.
Yeah.
Did the skewer one shot Hog and the Ghost?
No, they had to be damaged, but it would like do like massive pushback.
Okay.
So you could kind of like
I don't
flip
know.
them.
Like when I was riding the Warthog, I felt like every time I got in it, the car would explode within the first like 30 seconds.
That's
of
what
driving.
that's what I'm
felt.
saying. The vehicles.
It's so weak.
Yeah, the vehicles are weak in this game. People complain they were weak in like H5 or like H4. I think they're even weaker in this. The fact that the vehicles now have that weird effect where sometimes they just like after they take enough damage, they pull the GTA on you and they like go on fire and they just blow up is weird.
Yeah, the Warthog,
Yeah,
like
I don't
I
like
wanna I wanna push it to the edge and get that last little life out of it. Because if you give me a countdown timer before it explodes, then I'm like, all right, well I have to get out of it. It's not like I have a choice now.
Yeah.
And in comparison to the Banshee, or not the Banshee, the Ghost, I guess you can make the argument that yeah, lore wise, it's the banished Ghost. So maybe they slapped on some like armor enhancements or whatever you want to call it, and that's why it's beefier.
Oh
But
yeah,
I felt like the Ghost could easily was just like it could tank a rocket shot.
the
And it'd just
ghost
be fine.
the ghost was better than the Warthog in this fight, I would say. It was more
Yes.
effective at everything.
Yes.
Which
Yeah,
isn't
the
Damage
ghost
output
felt
was
really
insane.
powerful.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
strafe was fast and the damage output was crazy.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you had better coverage of your character's head. So you wouldn't get shot out as easily as
yeah,
using the
that too.
Warthog. Yeah,
And
the
plus, people were spawning with ARs and sidekicks, so it was hard for
yeah,
them to shoot you out of
that yeah, that's a big part
So
of it too.
is that the replacement ghost of this game, or is the purple one gonna be like
I
another
think
variation
that's
of it?
the replacement. I don't think the purple ghost is in this game.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that
Yeah.
ghost definitely needs some tuning. Maybe the damage. I would say keep the fast speed of it because that's what ghosts are about. But the damage is definitely a little insane.
Yeah, I felt like in a lot of the older Halo games, like you could shoot someone with the ghost, but a lot of times you would splatter them, right, for kills. And
Yeah.
this one you just
Yeah.
shoot them. The gun was so effective. You could melt people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys
The
want to finish
Vanish
on the
just
sniper?
make better boosts.
Yeah. Before we go back to the sniper, the Warthog, dude, what the fuck's going on with that thing? When you're shooting it, they like forgot to like animate half it. I don't know, man. When you're shooting it, you can't even tell you're shooting it. Like the sound is weird. There's no visual feedback that the turret's even shooting when you're on the turret. The crosshair is like really weird and small. I don't know. They made some weird changes to that, and I
Did
don't.
anyone else feel like the turret damage was a little weak or no?
Oh, it seemed
Oh,
so
yes,
weak.
definitely weak.
So
Very
weak.
Yeah.
Again,
Uh,
going back to the ghost, like I remember, I think Arash was driving and I was on gun and I was lighting up a ghost and everything was hitting. I could see the little like hit markers.
I
But
think I was
just
driving though.
oh yeah, I think it
'Cause I
was
saw
you.
that too. I was like,
And
why didn't you kill
like,
that?
dude, in a 1v1, the Warthog should be able to take out a ghost. Ghosts in the past have never been like able to withstand a full like turret blast. It just I don't know.
Mhm.
It felt very strange.
How would you say the driving was for you guys?
The driving felt weird with the Warthog.
You were on mouse and keyboard, right? Though.
Yeah, so that could have been me.
It just
I
felt
kind of enjoyed it.
super smooth. Like there wasn't a lot of friction.
That's a suspension.
Hey, they got the off-roading suspension this game.
Yeah. Since H5, they've been improving the Warthog model, so it's a lot better.
I
Yeah,
thought they were
exactly.
fun to drive, the Mongoose and the Warthog.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember they
actually never got
licensed
to
the
try the
Hoonigans
Mongoose.
to make this, so it's better now.
Okay, well, yeah, we can hop back over. What'd you guys think of the sniper in this flight? I mean, it felt slightly improved, but honestly, I barely got to use it this flight because I kept getting the stupid spawns or the maps that didn't have a sniper.
Same.
I used it a couple times. I do like a lot that this actually takes skill to aim, specifically like both scoped in and scoped out. I think it's not like H5 where you just easily anyone can hit a headshot.
Yeah.
Like in this game, it feels rewarding just to even like hit a double. I feel with a sniper sometimes.
I agree with that. The only thing I dislike is that the no scopes aren't fully accurate. I hate that.
Yeah, I was gonna get that. Like, is there actually bloom with the no scope? Because if
Yeah.
so, that is very dumb.
Something's
that-
going on there.
There is
Yeah.
bloom there. That is dumb. But from my testing, that did exist in the older Halo games, but I think it's worse in Reach.
Oh,
So I think
okay.
that's what's going on there. Like I hopped on Halo 3 like right after the flight. I tried it. I'm like, and that's what it was. You zoom in on someone's head, and then you go no scope them, and it wasn't a headshot.
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
always
okay.
been a Halo thing, no?
Well, I mean that's what we're experiencing in Infinite, but like I think it happens in Infinite at closer ranges, and like
Okay,
that's the
okay.
problem.
I got you.
But
What-
I do like that it's harder to use. And not everybody just hits every
Frosty's
snipe
probably
when they pick
balding
it
right
up.
now. the sniper.
Dude,
Um,
when he had that clip where he was talking about how like people won't be able to make the H5 plays where you like fucking thruster pack and shoot the sniper and you get like 10 feet of bullet magnetism. He wasn't kidding. You're not getting that
Yeah.
shit in this game. Like
Yeah,
there aren't gonna be those ridiculously generous snipes in this game.
I think that's better for like Halo clip people who actually try to do that stuff with snipes and whatever, because that just gives it more like I don't know how to describe it. It'd be more appreciative. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it'll make the clips that people hit more like more special, I guess per se. I don't, like they'll be
More
harder to
legit.
hit.
yeah, you can appreciate it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now when I see these like MCC clips, it just I'm just not as
With their
not
240
impressed
frames
anymore.
and like
Yeah, back in the
smooth
day, it was
aiming
hard. It was harder to snipe. A lot harder to snipe back on old hardware, 30 FPS, input lag. So but yeah, it's just gotten too easy, and I'm glad that it takes more skill and Infinite. And in the first fight, just aiming with that sniper felt really weird.
Yeah.
It felt a lot better than me in this one. I don't know if they made any changes or if I just got Sumo almost yeeted off the edge there. But yeah, it's nice.
Did you guys feel that there was like a weird difference between trying to hit or trying to aim with a no scope versus aiming scoped in? Because I feel like there was kind of.
To be fair, I never have been good with a sniper in Halo. I don't know why. It's just I've never really gotten like the aim assist with it and how to actually like aim precisely at someone and take them with a headshot in either scoped or unscoped. Um, but in this game, I felt like it was okay. You know, I didn't feel like it was too hard to do.
Nice. Yeah.
How do you guys
I guess
feel about the COD fucking glare when you're scoped in now?
I feel like I don't mind having it in the game, but for some weapons, it's way too fucking bright. Like I'm staring into the sun when I see that.
I
That's true,
definitely
yeah.
don't like it on the. It's on the BR now.
It's on
Like,
any
what?
of the guns that have proper scopes and not smart
So
scope.
like, if it is BR starts, if they ever do that,
Oh,
everyone's gonna have a
yeah,
glare.
that'll be dumb.
No, like I don't want that at all. So take it off of those weapons for sure.
Yeah, keep it on the sniper. I would agree, but turn it down, man. That shit is.
That tells me they
blinding
have no intentions of making it BR starts.
Well, I don't think they do, man. I mean, they already came out and said next weekend for BTB is AR Sidekick, so
God.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
yeah.
Dude, people's arguments supporting that are just some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Those are
It blows my
same
mind.
the same people.
There are plenty
that
weapons around, dude. Just go where I never
No,
failed
you
to get a bow rifle.
that
As I'm literally camping the room with bow rifles
Yeah,
just so I can have
exactly.
one
Yeah,
and make sure I have ammo.
yeah.
People were saying, "Oh no, if you're gonna spawn with the BR, the people aren't gonna scavenge the map." People spawn with the BR in other Halo games, and people were moving around the map, scavenging for power weapons, power ups, vehicles, equipment. There's still reasons to move around the map, even if you're spawning with the BR. And if it's true that the BR is too much of a laser, if it does do too much damage to vehicles, then I feel like a way to remedy that is tweak the BR. Do
Yeah.
less damage to vehicles.
Yeah.
Widen the spread or something. Do something to the BR. Why is the solution people automatically jump to is, all right, get rid of it, put the AR sidekick in? Why is that right where what we go to? This is pre-launch. Like, this is a tech preview. We can
No,
get
I know
feedback, say,
that
tweak this, tweak
that's what
that.
I hate, man. Maybe BR
People wanna
starts
disregard it
suck.
completely.
Yeah, maybe BR starts sucking this game, but why can't we fucking try it during the technical test? Like,
Yeah.
let me try 50% of my BTB games with BR starts, and if it sucks,
And
it
just
sucks. Then you never do it again.
Gameplay bouncing in general, like we need to know
Are
what
they
it
just
feels like.
assuming their internal testing is going to
Dude,
reflect,
we
like, the
fucking
same
watched
thing?
the internal testing. If you
Yeah,
if
Everyone
you
can be a
Fernando.
hero.
if you want to take all of your balance choices on that, then you do you.
Oh my god.
like there's going to be teams that are sweaty as shit in BTB, and they're just going to like camp all the
Oh, yeah, they're gonna set
precision
up.
weapon spawns. They're going to set up on the map,
Yep.
and these people spawning with their sidekicks and ARs aren't going to be able to do anything.
If you've
And if there is enough, like a ton of BR spawns in the spawn, like on each base, if it's just littered with weapon racks with BRs on it, then at that point, well, why not just spawn me with it? Like,
yeah, that's the whole thing. I see two main
shit, what
like main arguments for why we shouldn't have BR starts, right? One is they think people want there to be a reason for you to go pick up weapons. And then, like, you know, two, you know, they don't want people getting clapped out of vehicles, I guess. But yeah, like you're saying, unless there's a ton of BRs and commandos on the map, BTB in this game is not going to be very enjoyable because the AR and the sidekick have no range. Like, you will, if you've ever played something like Halo 3 and you got trapped, like spawn trapped on fucking standoff, even with a BR. Now imagine playing a team of people and they just fucking shit on you. They have BRs and commandos and you're trying to shoot them with a stupid ass sidekick when they're like mid to long range, because I assume all the BTB maps are going to be pretty big, you know?
That's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
There's gonna
Yeah,
be no way to counteract that.
I find myself in a lot of the maps always making sure to run by the Commando BR wall spawns because like they were just too strong against, or I just need them and I didn't start with them. So it's fucking annoying. So I was always running by them whenever I could.
Yeah.
And I like when people say, like, they're like, oh, I thought you were complaining about the AR being too effective at range, right? I thought it's too good at range. Yeah, playing on a BTB map, you're not going to compete against a person with a precision weapon at range when you have the AR. Yeah, it's better at range on the 4v4 maps, but like, come on, it's not shooting cross map.
Yeah,
in BTB.
exactly. You could even feel that in Behemoth. You could tell Behemoth is it's not too big of a map. Like it felt fine, but Behemoth already shows the problems
Yeah.
of having an
Yep.
AR and a sidekick because that map was too big for the effective range of those guns. Now these BTB maps, in theory, with it being 12v12, are going to be bigger and have longer sight lines. Imagine trying to shoot someone where you already can't do it on Behemoth with the sidekick. Now try and do that against a team that's already picked up all the BRs on the map. Like
And
that.
I said, I don't know if you see it. I said this on Twitter earlier. I was like, I said something about the BTB maps having longer sight lines, and I went back and forth with this guy because he replied to me saying, "Oh yeah, big maps equal big sight lines," as if that wasn't true or something. Like what? Like yes, big maps equal big sight lines most of the time.
I mean,
Like,
I
what
guess
are we
if they
talking about?
if they segmented a bunch, it feels like how
Yeah, but like most of the overwhelming majority of the time you play like a big map in a video game, there are long lines of sight.
yeah.
Is that so crazy to
maybe
believe?
maybe they'll make it like a mini battle royale map where it's like mini segments all over.
Yeah, like
Hey, we
Vanguard.
do have the loot caves, so there'll be some good stuff in there for you to pick up.
Yeah, the loot cave.
All right, does that cover everything weapon related? I don't.
I believe so.
Let me,
We
let me do a quick.
have you
little,
talked about the Grappler and Repulsor and how great they are?
Oh yeah, like, we
They're
can
amazing and
talk about the
beautiful.
equipment. Yeah, the grapple shot and the repulsor are some of the most fun things about this game.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. The
Yes, I
Grappler
agree.
feels so fun to use and it feels great. It's not like slow or it's just so satisfying, and the amount of things you can do with it is so rewarding and creative. And the same goes with Repulsor. Like the amount of things you can do
Uh-huh.
with it, I think it really is a great addition to Sandbox. And I think some people said they want to have like I know BK said he wanted to have it where you can just have infinite charges maybe, or have more charges. I think we should maybe stay away from that from the base Halo settings because that's gonna obviously be like Reach 2.0 with everyone just running around with
Yep.
starts of armor lock and other crap. But yeah, what do you guys think of them?
Well, I was gonna say in BTB I want more charges, but then I just remembered in their blog post they said we get more in BTB. So
Yeah.
actually,
That's fair.
that may be fine.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Because like in BTB, I kind of want to be able to
Dumb.
more like just grapple shot just to get around maybe. But I
Yeah,
was spawning with like 5 charges and the fact that you could stack them or whatever, it might be fine anyways.
yeah,
There are scenarios in 4v4 where I have a grapple shot or a repulsor and I'm like, I have 2 charges, like I kind of want to use it, but I don't have an actual use right now. Like I would just kind of use it for fun, but you just hold on to it. I guess if you had like I could see a world where if you did cooldowns instead of limited charges, it could be fine. But then the cooldown would probably have to be pretty long, and then that might also not be fun. So I I don't know. I don't mind the way that they've balanced it. I do want to complain about one thing though. And that's the
Yes.
way that the equipment works with the power-ups.
Yes.
I can't tell you the amount of times over this weekend where I had a drop shield or a repulsor or a grapple shot that I picked up without even noticing because you can pick them up off dead people and there's no audio cue that you picked it up. So I'd pick it up without even noticing, or I would notice. It wouldn't make a difference. And I would go to pick up the overshield, and especially on like fucking live fire, I had to jump on top of this goddamn thing, swap out my equipment for the power up, pop the power up, and then pick my fucking equipment back up before I could leave
Yep.
that area of the map. There needs to be, or there doesn't need to be, but I would like to see like the ability to just auto activate the power up. I don't want to have to stand there awkwardly for honestly like 10 seconds.
Yeah, and like how you said, how you had to drop your current equipment, pick that up, use it, and then pick up your equipment again. Yeah, that just is super, super awkward to me. And I don't know how they didn't see that as a problem. Like, I prefer the power ups working like they did in Halo 1 through 3, or even Halo 5. I'll take that
Yeah.
over this. Like, most of the time you are just popping it right away. Like, there wasn't many situations where it was like beneficial just to hang on to it for a while. Like, you just get it, you use it, and that's it. So I don't like how those two things work together. I don't like that the equipment or that the power ups are equipment, and I also feel like that's taking the place of 2 other pieces of equipment that we could have had.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Most times this weekend, I just popped it like I was playing Halo 5. Like I just popped it off pickup. So maybe that's something that kind of a meta evolves around that. But then again, if you're holding on to an overshield, then you can't hold on to the fucking all the other equipment. That's like there's an abundance of equipment on the map.
I guess that's kind of like a balance thing because it'd be to hold OS for the whole game, and then also be able to have a grapple hook would be a little too much. I don't know.
That would be
Yeah.
pretty.
Like that's
Yeah.
the price
Yeah.
to hold on to
At-
that.
Yep. But I don't even like that you can hold it. I feel like that's
Yeah.
weird. People can just like run out of a building just full OS.
Yeah, in a competitive sense, it's like something you have to keep in mind too. Like if someone grabbed it and if they still have it or if they burnt it already.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
those are things you're gonna want to know.
There was a couple scenarios this weekend where I ran into someone who popped an overshield to contest the next power up, and I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. Like they held on to it that long. I do want to say though that the overshield in general feels very weak in this game. Like the actual shield,
Oh yeah, for sure.
you get melted through it so quickly. Like sometimes I mean, it definitely like you take a gunfight and you'll win it, but it's nothing like overshields in the previous game where I don't really feel like it helps me that much.
And the visual's ugly.
Yeah.
Oh, the visual.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely a different issue because you have the armor coat. Well, not the armor cones, but the way the armor highlights when you shoot Spartans in this game.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're gonna do to make it look
Didn't-
cleaner, but it definitely isn't it right now.
No,
Didn't I
because
see before that it used to look like it used to be golden with like the hexagon pattern, or am I like crazy? Didn't it used to look like that?
I
In-
think you're right.
I think in
Um,
the if anything that was in the pre-flight footage, because last flight it would just make you really blue or really red, and you like couldn't tell when people had overshield. So
In
the white cum man is definitely an improvement.
Fucking
someone
Casper the Friendly
in
Ghost.
It's like, hey yo, this guy's got a OS.
they in chat said that. I didn't come up with that one, but so it's definitely like it gives me better information, but it's just really ugly.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they tried to, I guess, make it look more like how it is in Halo 3. Because in Halo 5, you just turn green. And
Yeah.
just like, I didn't prefer that. I did like how it looked in like Halo 3 and Halo 2. And like, it does align more with that.
We could
And-
play CE again where there's no visual indicator.
Yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
I hated that.
No, Big Daddy, it reminds me more of the Reach hardcore settings where it just turned your Spartan fucking white.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they can't do that now because armor coating.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like,
Now
fuck
they
it, just make them a glow stick.
Yeah. It's so it makes you pop out so much too. Like you're just so
Yeah.
fucking obvious.
Yeah.
But
You guys want to talk about how the maps were like in PvP?
yeah, let's talk maps. So, in the first flight, I would have probably at the end of the first flight told you my favorite map was Bazaar. I think it's my least favorite. That map
Same.
sucks. Like
Same.
the middle area on that map is so awkward and unfun. You get stuck on both sides of it trying to take pop shots with the fucking sidekick and the AR, neither of which are any good at that range. And like you can't really converse across the bottom of mid because you just get shot from above. You can go through like the awkward alley part, but then again, if someone's chilling up on rockets like waiting for you, you just get shot in the head. The whole map like has really awkward routing, and I just don't find it a very fun
Like
map.
one of those awkward social maps that are only in social. It's like those. What's that fucking flood map in H3?
Isolation.
ISO.
Oh yeah.
I hate
Kind of like that. It's like
isolation.
we just play in social and that's it. We don't really talk about it.
I feel like for Bazaar, it kind of reminded me of something aesthetically wise from
Call of Duty.
Halo 2. Oh yeah, Call of Duty too. Everyone wants to say that, but
Yeah,
like when I
that's a
when I
meme.
see Bazaar, I'm thinking like, oh, this is like New Mombasa. That's the first thing that comes from my to my head, and it's just
It's
I don't know.
old Mombasa.
It's
I-
old Mombasa.
I don't have
It's
any
old Mombasa.
issues with the aesthetic of the map. I just think the layout is bad.
Yeah, I
I
like
don't have a
this.
problem with it,
I
to be honest. I actually
Get him
enjoy
out of
like
here.
going
Get him out of
through.
here.
I go through the tunnels. I come out on the other side. There's somebody coming around the corner from their spawn. I slap his nuts. Progress to go and capture the flag, and I do the ramp slides through the tunnels again. Or some people have done some crazy ass tricks where they use the grapple hook in tandem with like the bridge parts in
Oh
front
yeah,
of their
to shoot
spawns.
out.
Yeah, and they just like fling it across the map. Like that's kind of cool. It's broken, but it's cool. I don't know. I think the map is pretty good. I haven't really had a tough time playing on it. I haven't gotten like stuck. Like I don't feel like I'm ever pinned down in that map.
Yeah,
I-
I would say my overall opinions on the map were that they weren't bad or unfun to play on. They weren't 10 out of 10 maps where I absolutely had a blast on. They were just like solid maps. Um, Definitely the Grappler and Repulsor are gonna have like considerations for map making this game. Like 343 are
Mhm.
gonna have to make map space around that, which is gonna maybe affect us having like more traditional style maps for Halo. But yeah, I think the maps were just pretty solid. They weren't like oh I fucking hate this map. I can't stand playing this. But it was just like well
I
it's
think I think this
it's
game
there.
is
It's
gonna
yeah.
need better competitive maps, or it's gonna struggle.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
And
a
I'm worried
problem.
about
That's a
that.
none
problem. Like if
of
Forge is gonna be the
I'm
thing
really
where
worried about that.
people were making Forge maps for comp and we're only be seeing Forge maps on
yeah.
comp, that's gonna be sad.
Yeah, because none of these maps, like Behemoth, probably my favorite map, but that's
It
obviously a
was.
social map. And then
Mhm.
like Live Fire, honestly, probably in my opinion, the best comp map, but it's pretty bland and safe. Recharged was fine, and then we talked about Bazaar, but none of those were like. When I played, none of those was I like, yes, this is a good comp map.
That's how I felt.
They just
Yeah.
felt like okay social maps outside
Like
of
Live
Bazaar.
Fire I could definitely see as strongholds for
Yeah.
comp. Behemoth be really fun for AV8 or whatever. I feel like that'd be a really fun social map, but definitely not a comp map. If it is in
No.
comp, that's
There's
who the
no
fuck
way.
made
There's
that
no way it's in
decision?
comp with the vehicles. I mean,
Definitely
maybe
not.
like a ranked Team Slayer, but no way it's in like your
Oh yeah.
HCS.
Oh,
Yeah, I
yes.
can't wait to play like a ranked Team Slayer on this. But just to make like a general statement, I feel like a lot of 343's maps are feel like there's too much cover and there's not enough sight lines. Like, I mean, and just because you mentioned isolation before, I mean, just think of when you're up top on the top of that map. Like, everything's
You
so
see
open.
everything.
You can see everything. Narrows. Think of how much you can see from top mid. The Heretic. There's plenty of maps in Bungie's Halos where you can see a lot of the map. There's far sight lines. I just feel like on something like Bazaar, there was too many buildings, too many walls. There wasn't too much cover. And I feel like that about a lot of 343's maps, honestly.
I think you're talking about like too many things blocking off sight lines from like or the rest of the map.
Yeah, I mean,
That
just think of like when you're mid
yeah, because
Bazaar.
on midship
Like you
you could be
can't think of how
P2
much.
and you see all the map, and like if your car you see
Yeah,
all the map.
it's not. Yeah, 343's maps need to be more open. Like on like Behemoth. Um, but yeah, on Bazaar, like when I was standing on rocket spawn just felt so awkward because you couldn't jump up to like the whatever like the you couldn't jump up top on each side where people would just usually sit and sidekick across. You couldn't jump there from rockets. It was just really awkward when I was in that position, and like there was not many sight lines at all from there because a lot of people didn't go mid. From my experience, they would just sit back in the buildings and on the stairs and peek shoot.
Yeah. Well, going mid in Bazaar was kind of like a death sentence. For
Yeah.
being honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
I feel like Recharge was probably one of the weaker maps in my opinion. I don't know.
Is
I
that the one with
felt
the dummies?
no,
no
Recharge is
Recharge
the
was
one with the
the
big like dam. It's like the It's the one we.
Oh wait, sorry, that's the one I think they'll be the strongholds
Oh,
competitive
okay.
map.
Live Fire is the dummy one.
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't think maybe that one will for strongholds as well because they obviously not have forge maps available at the start. But
Yeah.
Well, they could
It's
have
just like
forge maps they made, but yeah.
Recharge just kind of felt I don't know, it felt okay to go through, but it felt like it was a little too open. So that one match that I think me and Sempra were in where we played against that pro team, obviously they're pros. They're gonna know, the call outs, and they're gonna know the tactics and how to work together and really just like squad up to take down like one person one at a time. And they're good at that. That's why they get paid. But I felt like that was a perfect example of how open and how like exposed the map was, especially in strongholds mode for a recharge. It's just like, I don't know, they had everything locked down so tight. It's because they could see everything. They like from A, all you had to do was walk down the stairs a little bit and you'd see B.
The stronghold locations on recharge seem kind of weak to me because A and C are like 2 feet away, and then you can also like see B from either of them pretty easily.
Yeah, I don't know where
Yeah,
else they would.
the
really
map
put
definitely
him
has a
well.
strong side. I feel like the side with the I want to say the side with the tower is definitely like favorited.
Yeah.
Baba Booey.
And in
Okay.
strongholds on that map, when you if you only had C and the other team had A and B and they were set up, and playing against like competent players, it was actually really hard to break that
Yeah,
setup.
you know, it's actually
There's,
really one
but
thing.
to be fair,
go,
oh, sorry.
I would say one thing they did really great about strongholds versus other games that have done similar things like domination and COD, whatever. So traditionally, right, when you have a capture, you get 1 point per second, right? So if you have two, it's 2 points per second. The problem with that is that it makes it very hard to come back if you finally get map control and you can hold 2. Because
Yeah.
let's say that guy's 10 away, if as long as he has 1, he just hold that 1 for the next 10 seconds. But in this game, I don't know if you guys notice this, but if you have 2, you get 1 point per second, and the enemy team gets 0 if they only have
Yeah.
1.
So I don't want to burst your bubble here, Sempra, but that's how it worked in Halo 5.
Yeah, but fuck Halo 5. That got retconned. We don't talk about Halo 5.
And
All right.
I mean, and what you described is actually the reason I kind of don't like strongholds. I wish it was more like domination.
Yeah, but that
There
makes
have
it
been.
impossible for comebacks.
It doesn't. I feel like you should have to clutch up for the comeback and hold the 3. Because
Yeah,
there's
but that's
times where
like
I
almost
get in the
impossible.
short period of time I played Halo 5, there were multiple stronghold games I lost at 99 or 98 points. And it's not just a simple task just to go cap another one real quick. And I don't feel like I should have to work that hard, make that great of a play just to get one more point. You know what I mean? Like that's what was weird. Sometimes we were in positions where we had to make these insane plays just to get one more little point. That's stupid. I mean, people lost games, I think, in some of the tournaments by
Oh
1
yeah, they
point in
did.
strongholds.
They did. I'm kind of on Sempra's. I like how it works. I like that
Yeah.
more than domination
No,
because domination games become unwinnable.
I'm more
Yeah.
of the opinion they should
like-
have to if they want to come back, they want to clutch up. You hold all 3.
Yeah, but like
and
you know,
Because
you
holding
create-
all 3,
when
like
you're-
the game isn't built to be able to do that.
Yeah,
Like
when
you
you're trying
you
to
have
hold all 3,
to.
they're
you have
gonna
to-
spawn naturally on one of them.
Well, yeah,
like,
it's tough, but
impossible.
it's possible, and that's what I mean. Like that's clutching up. Like,
Yeah, but to be fair, like in a Call of Duty, so to hold all 3 in Halo or in Call of Duty, you have to make individual outplays. Single players have to kill multiple players multiple times to hold all 3 for any period of time because you're spread out over 3 spots and you only have 4 teammates, right? In a Call of Duty, that is possible. You can gun 3 people down as one person because the time to kill is quicker. In Halo, you're going to lose that third point 70,
Yep.
80, 90% of the time if the other people aren't like absolutely
Yeah.
brain dead because they can just bull rush you unless you have a
And
power
on
weapon.
And on the
point, you
strongholds maps we had,
you move
they
around the
literally
map together.
on the strongholds maps that we had the 2, they literally spawn on either A or C if you're not on them. Like
Yeah.
like that's just gonna be impossible to do. You're just gonna be flipping spawns over and over, and eventually they're just gonna naturally
Well,
capture.
it's not
at a time.
impossible because teams have held 3, so it can.
Yeah,
be
yeah,
It's
it
possible.
is
it's not
possible for, like,
impossible.
but if
Yeah.
you're imagining a competitive match where both teams are, like
Well, I mean,
like-
in Halo Infinite, there was multiple times me or the other team held 3. I think
Yeah, I'm
every
s- I'm
game
sure,
at
but I'm
some
saying,
point
like,
we held 3.
imagine a pro match where 2 teams are neck and neck, and like that's holding 3 is gonna be very difficult. Like that stuff is not gonna you're not gonna see that often where some team absolutely dominates another pro team and holds all 3.
True, but like I think it's I don't. It is possible, and I don't think it's. Well, yeah, I mean, I think it happens enough. Like, it's not like, oh, once every 100 games you'll.
No,
have
I mean
3.
you can
No.
3 cap, but you're just probably not going to hold it for an extended period of time
Yeah,
unless you're
yeah.
unless you're like
And
greatly
you're gonna have to
overmatching them.
give up like like map control.
Yeah.
And I mean, we managed to hold sometimes all 3 points for a little while because it's about communication and knowing where the enemies are and knowing when they're going to spawn and knowing where to rotate and how many people to put on each stronghold, and then you rotate around to where they're going to spawn for the next one. If you know how to move around the map and your knowledge of spawns are good, like
Yeah, but you can
you can
if you
hold
want
3.
though, if you can hold 3, you can hold 3 and win the game even quicker. So I mean, there's still like
Yeah,
there's still an incentive to hold 3 if you want to. But I
I think it's just weird. Like you have 1 point, like you're holding it, and then you only need like 1 or 2 more points to win, and like you got to make this massive play just to get 1 more point. It's not like a flag cap, like that's a bigger thing. But 1 more point with a strongholds, like you
Hmm.
know, you got to break their entire setup and cap the
you
point just
you
for
do.
1 more. It
Yeah.
just doesn't seem like you should have to do that.
To be
at that point.
fair, I think this is a moot point. I think there's 0 chance they change the way strongholds works.
Oh yeah. I mean, well they did change it. You cap the initial points are capped.
that's true.
that's-
I thought that was really
How do you
weird.
feel about that?
The first time I did it, I just didn't even notice. Like I was like, "Whoa, it's capped." But honestly, almost seems cosmetic. I mean, it's not because you no longer have to have someone stand on spawn. But
Yeah, I do like that.
yeah, I don't mind it. It just lets all 4 people run out onto the map and start playing the game, as opposed to like making one person the dummy that just has to stand on the spawn.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that at all. But earlier, and then we can talk about CTF. But earlier you mentioned like some of the maps have clearly have setups that are stronger, like in specific, like hold AC and it's stronger than holding, or like BC or whatever and it's stronger.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole point of the game mode though, isn't it? Like that's how it worked in any of the non-symmetrical maps in H5 too. Like there's always the optimal setup that you want to get.
Yeah, and you benefit from having 2 points, even if it worked like domination in COD.
Yeah.
Let's
What?
move on from
All
strong.
right. Anyways, all right. So caps
What?
the flag.
You guys want to? Yeah, you guys think the flag was too
What do you
heavy?
mean? I was agreeing. What?
we
I
were
didn't say anything that was trying to like counter what you just
no,
said.
I know. We were just gonna
We're
retread.
just going on strongest.
Okay, I got you.
But yeah, what did you guys think of the flag? Like
Dude,
trying to
okay,
juggle and carry
so-
because I thought it was too heavy.
yeah. So
At
here
least I felt that way.
I have torn feelings about the flag in CTF. Well, first thing, they have to fix that shit where you can fling the flag across
Yeah.
the map with the grapple hook. While that is very cool, that is so unbelievably broken, and that can't exist. But
Yeah, the second I noticed you could grapple the flag to you, I was just like, uh-oh. And like later that day on Twitter, I see people throwing the flag
yeah,
across the map.
literally, someone could just grapple it over the mid of Bazaar, and you could just get instant caps if someone sat on the other side to catch it. But so juggling in this game felt bad, like reach vanilla settings, but worse bad. Like
Yeah.
And I think it's on purpose because I think it's to de-incentivize you to drop the flag, because if you guys noticed, now there's basically 2 forms of flag carrying. There's walking normal speed, which doesn't reveal you, and then there's the sprinting with the flag, which reveals your location. So I
And to
think
be honest, I think I like that system.
I like that system too, but I think 343 almost wants that sprint to take over what used to be why you would flag juggle. Because you used to juggle, you would reveal the flag and go faster, or you could ghost run it by just holding it. And now, it's just you either walk or sprint. And I have a feeling they did this because that's a little more like new player friendly.
They want to eliminate flag run, like the juggle on the flag. But I like juggle on the flag because there were some routes you could take in flag runs you could do in the other Halo games that not everybody could do. You had to have the timing down right, and now that anybody can just sprint with the flag.
Yeah,
anybody can do that. So there's like less of a like a skill gap there, I guess, for running the flag.
There were like a couple of times where you can juggle the flag, but when you're just at like a flat speed, it definitely felt like you're trying to throw a fucking boulder. But I know what you mean. Like in H3 Heretics, there was like a gajillion ways to juggle the flag.
Even H5 had really advanced flag running where you could combo like movement mechanics to move the flag like super fast. But that all included juggling, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I didn't mind juggling, but part of me wonders if A, it's to be new player friendly, and maybe also B, because so many people like meme on like the flag picked up, flag dropped shit. Maybe they were done with it
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
after
What'd you
like.
guys? Or you finish your
No,
thing.
that was basically it.
What'd you guys think of the fucking nades? I feel like they were CE nukes and
Oh,
they were just
dude,
way too good.
the nades in this game, yeah, they're
They
fucking they're too strong.
they were so annoying, to be honest.
I think
I
part
think
of
it
the
was mainly the radius of them was super
yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
yeah, I think it was
Maybe
the radius that was
Well,
super wide.
I
and
think
so
it's the radius
Majora
as
said
well.
this in chat. He said the nade spam was awful this flight. I think
It was.
that's two reasons. One, the nades have ridiculous radius. Two, you can yeet those babies out and you never have to worry about hitting your teammates. And
Yeah,
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
those two things combined are why it felt like everyone just chucked nades 24/7 because there was no downside. You
Yep.
didn't have to worry about hitting your teammates. What you didn't have to worry is my teammate going to push that room? Didn't matter. Chuck a nade in there. He can run in there anyways. And so
Mhm.
I think either the nades have to be toned way down or they just need to bring back friendly fire.
Like, how
They
do you
definitely need to
deal
be friendly fire.
with people throwing nades at you and then you try to escape, but then their teammates also like right on your ass, so
Yeah,
you have to deal with him as well.
yeah,
And he
I
doesn't
hate
matter.
it.
It doesn't. He has like zero fucks because he can just eat the nades.
Yep. And this didn't happen a whole ton because teams weren't all that coordinated. But the fact that people can make coordinated pushes on you where one guy throws a nade and the teammate pushes on top of the nade and instantly kills you, that just pisses. Like,
Yes,
the
that's
thought of
annoying.
that just tilts me. Like, the fact
I
that I can
hope.
imagine that happening
Mhm.
to me just pisses me off.
Yeah.
I hope they could have a saying where you could fix that. But that goes into another thing with the no clipping with teammates. Like
Yep.
like
It's kind of the same
that is
shit.
another big thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, it actually goes twofold too. Like, so there was multiple scenarios in the flight where I had someone yeet through his teammate to challenge me, and I'm like, well, sick.
Yep.
Like now I took
Yep.
the guy that was one shot has now disappeared behind the full stealth guy. Like that's real cool. But there's also the issue where like multiple times someone would run through me. Like there was one time Siri ran through me while I was throwing a nade and it like stuck to the back of him and killed me. I was like sick.
Yep.
Fucking sick, dude. And that's not Siri's fault. Like he's just playing the game. There's no player collision. But like fucking in any other game he just bumps into the back of me. Maybe my nade throw is pushed off a little bit, but in this game he just ran through me and got stuck by the nade.
Yeah.
The collision thing is definitely probably one of the top 3 most
Yeah.
talked about and hated things of Infinite right now.
Yeah, I'm not a
And
fan.
I think if 343 should definitely change that, or and like I feel like they eventually will because enough people will make noise about it. But
Is there a world where social is like this where there's no collision, no team damage, but maybe ranked has
see, that's a problem. I can imagine because from if it's true that there's a lot of things you can change for settings, it's I just wish they just had it for social as well. Like social shouldn't be so different if we have to have all these things that are just like nitty gritty changes.
yeah.
Like I hope social isn't like, yeah, you just run through people. You can throw nades at your teammates, but in comp it's like all different. You have to get used to that when you switch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean other games have done that, like Counter-Strike's like that. If you play casual in Counter-Strike, there's no
Yeah, but to be fair, that's because you're like jamming double the size of players on a map, and it's just absolute chaos. But this is
that's
4v4
true.
on a map that's fairly sized, and no
Yeah.
reason to not have collision. And collision is honestly a bigger thing in Halo than I'd say CS:GO because of the things you could do with team collision.
It I mean we don't have to get
Oh,
into this,
sorry,
but
take that back. I'm sorry. I no, so you can do a lot with CS:GO
oh
with
yeah, with all the
collision,
boosts
but
and shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
but in
yeah, yeah.
Halo has the same thing. Is my point.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of like it's different, but I wouldn't say one game has it more important than the other. They're just used
I totally
differently.
forgot CS:GO for a second there, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there any other equipment? What did you guys think of like the shock nade thingy? The
Oh, I thought that was
disrupto
pretty good.
nade. Yeah, or whatever it's
I
called.
like that.
Yeah, I think it was really powerful. Could
Yeah.
it just kill you straight up, or would it just drain your
I
shields?
think I have gone killed by
I
it
think
like
you had
once
to
or
like
twice.
stand there and like take the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was more for like, towards the end of a kill, like if somebody's running away because they have broken shields and you just toss it in the corner and like it arcs to them and it will zap them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I think it's pretty good. It's a good like area controller because it also
Yeah,
kind of
I
like
don't hate it.
walls off certain pathways.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Another big gripe I had with this game was the lack of audio cues.
Oh, yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
It's like-
in many regards, like there's just times where I wish I had known my shields were weak or like fully recharged,
Mhm.
or there was a bunch of things. Oh, when you capture a strongholds point, it sounds like too close to a shield recharging. Where it
Yeah,
throws me
Dude,
off.
I
when you
remember that.
grab the flag, the sound effect's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There were too many audio cues with like objectives, but not enough like
With
Yeah.
just
when it
general
comes to things like
players.
shields.
There's
or
also
sorry.
too many like voice lines and shit for stuff I don't care about. Like my Spartan would be like over yonder, but then my fucking Spartan won't tell me when I've picked up equipment or anything like that. Like that doesn't need to be that doesn't need to be a voice line, but there should be like sound, like the sound of
Yeah.
equipment or like ammo being picked up or some shit. But instead my fucking AI is like, "Good job, you're a killer." Like fucking sick, dude. Thanks.
If I'm being honest, that's the only voice line I want to hear is over yonder.
All right, fair enough.
I just wish they would only say over yonder.
But yeah, maybe it's just like a old build, like early game type thing, and then when the game's more refined, they'll have that crap. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. So,
Yeah.
which would be sad.
Excuse me, sorry.
All right. Well, I think that kind of covers that. Let's see. What else did I have? Okay. How did you guys feel? I saw a lot of people
Hated
on Twitter. Cool. Yeah.
Oh.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter complaining that like the flight was too sweaty. How did you? How was your guys'
Oh,
experience?
dude.
Oh my
The
god.
sweatiest. Oh my god, it was
Let
so
me say-
difficult. I could barely play.
Most of the time we were playing in a party of 4, and that's when we weren't matching many sweats at all. But as soon as we didn't have a party of 4, we were matching sweats. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I heard the solo queue experience was pretty god awful. So I don't know what was going
But-
on there.
How many games did you play for this flight BHB? Do you know?
His little
How many games?
his little player card said like 70 or something, didn't it?
I only played 70 games.
Maybe it was more. I don't know.
I
You-
played about 10 hours. I know that.
I played 60 games according to that thing, and out of all those games, there was only one time where we queued against sweats, and that was the Cloud9 Pro team. And that was the only time where the game
Yeah.
ended like in 5 minutes, and I felt clapped on. Other than that, every game felt like like we were just shitting on people, or just like a regular match of other Halo dudes. There was
Yeah.
never a time like, oh wow, these guys are just fucking going nuts.
So
And maybe this is just
Rixel said, "Sweat problem." Meanwhile, half the content we're watching is BXB spam Kappa. calm down, Rixel. All right, it was a mechanic in the game.
You
and
can't expose us
I will
like
bring that
that.
up too, but I feel like for this flight, there's a lot of casual players, right? And like a lot of people who don't like the multiplayer, or they just play custom games, or they just touch campaign or whatever, right? The Halo's got a lot of things to it. So I think there's maybe a loud minority of these people like trying Infinite, and they're experiencing like a mix of the veteran Halo players who've been playing this their entire life, and these other players who just been enjoying like Duck Hunt and Fat Kid.
Yeah,
And they're just like getting used to this game and its weird aim thing and the guns, and they're on top of that being shit on by these players that they're just having a really bad time. I feel like
Yeah.
that's what's going on.
I think it's like almost a moot point. Like, I think that this flight was gonna majority be people that are at least tuned in enough to Halo to sign up for the flight, right? And so you're gonna have a lot of people that play a lot of Halo. When the
And a
game
lot of
comes
people that
out,
don't play a lot of multiplayer.
yeah,
That's
like
the
it was
thing.
kind of like mixed boat, right? You had a lot of people that were super excited for campaign and stuff also in this flight. But once the game comes out, like there's going to be such a wide spectrum, like including more like middle ground and all the new players that have never played Halo before. Like I think the matches will be fine, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
To be fair, there are a lot of people that absolutely hate the BXB thing. They're like, oh, these freaking BXB guys, blah blah, wrecking me up and all that crap. It is kind of annoying when you have those people doing that. But outside of that, like, I feel like people are just getting shit on at the end of the day, and they're just not liking it.
yeah. No, I felt like overall in my experience, I had probably 2 or 3 games where I felt like the enemy team was clapping. But yeah, for the most part, I either felt like games were easy or just the fact that I was just kind of. I mean, we played most of the flight. What like
Casually, not
duos,
even calling
trios,
out really.
yeah, like pretty much we just chilled in Discord
Yeah.
and played the game, and occasionally someone would be like over there, over yonder.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say there was ever a point where I like thought I was playing ranked or anything like that.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't really have issues with it, but I don't know. Maybe we're the problem.
With
Yeah.
our BXBs. Maybe we are.
It's
That
just
makes
it's just funny as hell. Like people, there's definitely like a weird skill gap between people who have been playing Halo multiplayer for a long time and enjoy it versus the people who don't, and it's just that clash.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that this is probably like the first Halo they've played in forever too. Or
Yeah.
versus the people who have still been playing MCC or Halo 5 like on a daily or weekly basis.
They're a C SWAT player and they're like, wow, this is really sweaty. I don't understand what's going on.
All right. We talked about mouse and keyboard and controller earlier, so I think that pretty much does it. Do you guys have any other topics you want to talk about? Does chat have any topics?
Yeah, let me check my
What's up,
TXT
Lunchy?
file.
I
You
will
might
say that I'm still
TXT
not a
file.
fan of the HUD.
Oh yeah, the HUD.
don't
I
like
mean,
the
they
way the
didn't
HUD is.
change it
I
at
agree.
all, and they even said they're not changing it before launch. But the HUD sucks.
The stuff in the bottom right shouldn't be there. It's like too. I forget about it so often.
Dude, the
Like move
fact
it somewhere
that I
better.
think
Have
These need
option
to
to,
go top left.
I think
yeah. Like
yeah, I think
I
the
keep forgetting
everything
it's there.
being jammed in the bottom right is one of the reasons I never notice when I pick up equipment. Like also the fact
Yep.
that nades still stack on top of each other. I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
my ammo count is less noticeable
yeah.
because back in the older Halos, there's a fucking visible thing if your ammo depleting, not just a number.
I also I want there to be a way to lower the reticle, because that's just what I'm used to. That's what
I
I've
think
always played with.
was there none or no, or is that just for the like the where you how you hold the gun on your screen?
That's just how you hold the gun on your
Oh,
screen.
okay. Yeah, that'd be cool if you could have more freedom with customizing your reticle.
I mean, sure, why not? It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it'd be
I
a
mean,
new
I
thing
just
for
feel
Halo. To be
like
honest,
since it's
but
been lowered in like pretty much every Halo, like I feel like it should.
H5
we should at
was
least have an
H5
option.
was centered though, wasn't it?
Yes, that and I think Halo 1,
Yeah. So
but
Yo,
2, 3, 4, and Reach all lowered.
one thing I want
Yeah.
to bring up is playing this flight made me realize how fucked it is to grind these weekly challenges to get like
oh yes, I fucking hate. Okay, first
Yeah.
of all, the rarities may be in flux, but the fact that there was a legendary armor coating that was the color white, I can't.
That's pretty good.
And the other one was fucking IKEA man. He was just blue and yellow. But yeah, the dude, I know that they tried to like quell concerns about the challenge system, but it sucks. It's just MCC all over again, except now you get a bunch of stupid dailies that
Yeah.
try to be pseudo experience, but at the same time like not, where you have to like first you can play like any type of game, then you have to play social, then you have to win social games. It's like, so let me get fucking experience based on how I do in the game. Why does it have to be this
Yep.
weird like win 10 fucking social PvP matches?
Yep, and aren't the XP boosters like timed? Or
Oh,
something like that?
yeah, the XP boosters have
That is
they're
ridiculous.
timed, and they're like they're from whenever you activate them too. They're not
Yeah.
in-game time. The fact that they haven't fixed that yet is honestly like I think kind of sad, like pathetic.
That
like,
is ridiculous.
like how are you gonna have a system where there's matchmaking times and just count that against players, like paying for experience boosts, and it counts lobby time? Like, what if I want to fucking set my new armor? What if I have to take a piss? Am I just supposed to sit at my computer the whole time to maximize my
Yes.
XP
Get a
boost?
bucket.
So stupid.
You know, I think the
Get
sad
a
hard
bucket
truth
and
is,
a mop.
I think the sad
Yes.
hard truth of this is that this is a free play game, and Microsoft put a lot of money into it, and they're obviously trying to make their money back. So they have to set up a system where like people are gonna want to put money into it just to get these cosmetics, and like you can tell this was made like by design. Like
Yeah, no,
yeah, but you know how I feel about that? I feel like a lot of these things that come with a game being free to play would have been here anyway if it wasn't free to play.
I mean,
True.
H5 had a lot of them.
But H5 was just like
Yeah.
rec packs. It wasn't. It was just like it was an adoption of an old loot box system.
Yeah,
Whereas this
yeah.
game, you could. It's designed in such a way where you well, I guess I have to buy this now. Like if I want to get grind this or whatever.
Mm.
Like it was well designed, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it's well
To
designed to
get your
milk
money.
money, like challenge or swaps and an
Yep.
XP boost. It's all meant to milk money out of people.
Yeah.
Which
It's not face value like, oh, just buy these loot boxes. It's like
yeah.
it's
And that's
definitely
why I say if it's all about
system.
money, then like wouldn't these things still be here anyway?
I mean, probably
I
wouldn't
mean,
that if
why
it
why
still was.
wouldn't they? Like,
Yeah, but the free to play is just like obviously like Microsoft needs to make
yeah,
their
they
money
can
back.
they can yeah.
Free to play is kind of an excuse to have all that stuff and there not be any like pushback, right?
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
if you paid
true.
If the game wasn't free to play, there'd be a lot more
Yeah,
uprise of like that
that's
shit.
true.
yeah. But honestly, there's many not free to play games that have all the same shit, so
But here's a question: the game to buy the campaign, is it just regular like game price for a new game?
It's
I
60.
have they confirmed
Yeah.
it's 60? It's 60 on
So
Steam, right?
I'm pretty sure it's confirmed.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
99% sure.
If I usually Halo and multiplayer have always been a thing together, right? If they made multiplayer free to play, you would think they would have made you pay like maybe $40 this time for the campaign.
The
But it's still
campaign is going to have
$60.
to have a lot of value
So
to be
like
worth $60.
are you really getting a free multiplayer
And
today if you're buying the
they're off
campaign?
to a good start with that with no co-op. So
Yeah. No, yeah. Someone said in the chat earlier. This is like going back to the maps. We're not getting forged until who knows when. You know how bad it's gonna hurt like the map pool and the competitive map pool if 343 don't give us a good good amount of new maps like in a healthy time frame.
Think of the last Halo game where comp didn't use forge maps. Like that's kind of worrying.
Yeah.
well, wasn't it?
Oh
fine
my
for a
god!
while?
In Australia, the campaign costs $110.
Oh my god.
Ooh, unlucky.
Why don't you maybe get a plane ticket and just buy it somewhere else and then come back?
Wait, but aren't they like region locked
Oh
or
shit,
whatever?
maybe.
Yeah, you just get fucked.
Damn.
Like they just
Jesus.
Australia's down
Holy
bad in a lot of things right now. I feel sorry for
goddamn.
them.
Yeah. So I don't know. Do you have anything else? Okay,
Let me check my TXT file.
Yeah, you check that.
Yeah,
Sumo,
I
are you
use
there?
TXT
Did you die?
files.
No, I'm still here. I
Alright.
just you guys were on a roll, and I didn't want to.
I mean,
Fair enough.
I mean, most of us what we talked about was just shitting on the game. Well, not shitting on the game, but just like talk about the cons of it. But I think overall we would all say that the game was fun to play, right? And it does give
Yeah.
us some good amount of hopium.
Oh yeah,
for
for sure.
potential
That's
I
something
liked
I
it
probably
much
should.
more than 4 and 5.
Yeah.
region locked IRL.
That's something I probably should disclaimer at the start. I had a good experience with this flight. However,
Same here.
whenever you do a video like this, I mean, most of it's going to be nitpicking the cons and the things you didn't
Yeah.
things that you disliked. Because, I mean, if you like a weapon, that's kind of the end of it. Or if you like a mechanic,
Mhm.
it's just like I liked that, right? But you can talk a lot more when there's things that you disliked. But yeah, overall, I had a really positive experience. I mean, there's definite things that still need to be fixed, like the performance and maybe some of the weapon balancing. But I think Infinite, and if we get better maps and like have enough content, I think Infinite has a lot of potential to be like a good Halo game. Maybe not the redemption of Halo that people want it to be, but
The thing is, like, it's so close. I had so much fun playing it, and it's just so close to being like really great. Like, if they just the things they need to fix are not even that huge of a problem, like not that much huge of a work like problem. Like
I
the
think
bloom and the team collision and just minor
Yeah.
fixes.
Very
The game
minor
could be
things, yeah.
the game would just be absolutely great. Like I absolutely love it so much.
the core of the game feels good. It's not. I don't think
Yeah.
this game's like flawed at the core where you're just
Yeah.
gonna have issues no matter what.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
just
good.
think the sad reality is like even if this is like the best Halo game of all time, I don't think it's going to do as good as some people want it to do. Like I don't think this is going to be the
Yeah.
game that
100% agree.
everybody's playing and talking about.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, people crave battle royales and other type of games, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we'll
Well, I had mentioned
probably
this-
have a battle royale.
Yeah,
Eventually.
maybe
I don't
later
think at
down
launch.
the road. You know,
Oh, I don't
I don't think
think
there's any
later.
way
I
we
don't
have
think
it
it
at
launch either.
They would-
Warzone
they would
came a
have
year
to-
after MW's
Oh
launch,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
They'd have to focus, of course, on co-op and Forge before anything else.
Yeah.
Like before they even think about thinking of making a battle royale.
It'd be
But
a
I
huge
like
fuck you if they just put BR
I
first.
I made a comment in like our group chat about it where it kind of seems like 343 is doing like a reverse Ubisoft, because I don't know if about you guys, kind of like not going super off topic, but Ubisoft obviously makes the Assassin's Creed games, and I am a die-hard fan of those games. But the small things that made that game series unique and special and fun to play, and really just drew me back into playing more, they started dropping that. They started trying to make it more casual, obviously to get a larger audience, increase sales and whatnot. Who doesn't want money? And I feel like um 343 is doing the opposite, since they're trying to go back, and one of the main things is, of course, the art style, because the art style is super reminiscent of the older classic like Bungie trilogy. um and I don't know, stuff like that kind of makes me think that, like, either there's one of two things: either they actually care and they want to try and make Halo, a good series again after 4 and 5, or Microsoft has their boot on their neck and they can't afford to mess this game up, or else their studio is going to get dissolved like Visceral Games from EA. And then they just get dropped completely, or like I made a joke, or they go and work on NAC 4. Like,
I mean,
there's
I definitely think there's a world where if this game flops, 343 as a company either looks massively different or doesn't exist. I mean, how many games can you flop in a row before someone gives up, right?
exactly, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, like, especially like a flagship title like
yeah,
Halo.
343 is like not a cheap developer to fund either. Like there's a lot of people that work there, so they sink a lot of money into their flagship franchise. Like
And this is highest budget for a video game ever. Tied
I
with Destiny,
think
maybe?
that's like rumored. Is it? I don't know if that's been confirmed, but
500 milli.
that's the number I've heard. But
Hmm.
I don't know. But do you guys think this fall? How do you think it competes with Battlefield and Vanguard?
I feel
I
like
think it's
Battlefield
pulling
can
up on
take this-
top.
Dude, I feel
You
like
think
who
so?
the fuck cares about Vanguard besides COD fans that probably weren't gonna
Yeah.
play Halo anyways.
Yeah, fuck Vanguard. Vanguard's in the trash. but
Vanguard
Battlefield,
has had terrible reception from the general public. Like COD
Yeah.
COD purists or like COD fanboys will still play it, but I don't think your average player cares about Vanguard. And Battlefield we haven't even really seen. I mean, we've seen like
I can
trailer
just-
footage, but
I can see a lot of COD players this year just being like, "Fuck Vanguard,
dude, it's
let's play
bad.
Halo," and then they'll get shit on in Halo and just say, "Fuck it, let's get Battlefield."
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
that's
that's what I
possible.
see happening.
That's possible.
Some
I
people
just-
just don't want to take the time to learn the game and get better.
Yeah.
What we have with Infinite so far puts me on like so much hope for
Well,
its potential.
luckily,
I hope it pops off.
yeah, luckily in Infinite, you can just
Or
run
it's
around with
teeth.
your assault rifle, so all the COD players will be just fine.
True.
They can just play social, pretend they're playing COD, and they'll do all right. But yeah, I don't know. Vanguard just felt so bland, so like just shouldn't exist as a game.
I thought
I
it
feel
was
like
World
they
War
got a
II the
bunch of
first time I saw it.
fans to make a COD game. Like
It feels like an
Mr. Fuck it,
MW
guys.
mod. If it was an MW mod, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, that was a pretty good mod. But the fact that it's like a AAA game, you're just like, holy fuck, what is this? It's just MW but
Yeah.
worse. Will low aim assist scare newer players away? I don't think so, because there'll probably be a decent amount of skill based matchmaking. You'll probably play other newer
I
players
feel
who
like the
also
only
can't
people
aim.
that will have an issue with that are like the Halo veterans who've been playing it for a long time and they're so used to how Halo used to be that getting used to this lesser, easier to aim game is gonna be like kind of what's the term? They'll have to take some time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take some time to
The growth
realize.
pains. That's what I was looking
Yeah,
for.
I mean, I think Infinite will be an adjustment for people for sure. It's not the same as launching up MCC that we've been playing for the past 5 years. Like the shit's different,
Yeah.
which is good because I don't want to play any more MCC, man. I want a new fucking game. I want a
I already
new.
uninstalled MCC. Completely
Nice.
gone off my computer.
I want a new experience to learn. You know, like I haven't had the desire to care to learn like how to improve an MCC for like well over a year. I just launch it up, play, and then close it. But like Infinite, you know, there's the desire to improve and learn what you're doing wrong.
I think I'm gonna have like a day where it's gonna be just my last time playing MCC, and then that's it.
Yeah. I don't even know what
I
the last one was.
chuckled, and I mean, more power to them if they want to go back to H3. That's them. But I chuckled at the amount of tweets I saw this weekend that are like, "Well, back to H3." It's like more power to you, man. But fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah, I ain't going back again. I
Like,
think the last time I play H3 will be OG before they shut down the servers later this year.
yeah.
I
Outside of
think
like
I will hop
the,
on it just to get some games in, and when they shut them down, that'll be it. And we'll be on board with Infinite.
I did reinstall Val, but yeah. I mean, I'll still launch MCC up because I think mod tools would be cool. But for like regular default like ranked gameplay, I don't foresee myself ever
No.
caring. Maybe like the occasional nostalgic, like, hey, let's play some social for 20 minutes. But I don't know, that's probably about it.
The idea of playing MCC is like nice, and then when I actually play, I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah, it's just we've got our time out of it. Like all those games.
Yeah, exactly. It's been around for years. I put so many
Yeah.
hours already into it.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, I mean, it was retreads of games that we'd already
Depression
put.
collection.
It is. It was retreads of games we'd already put a bunch of time into. So what do you guys think about the longevity of Infinite? Do you think us we're still playing this in 3+ years?
Yeah, it depends how
I
long
do.
I can stay interested in the comp scene.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can see it. I can see it happening. It seems like a game. It going back a little bit.
It does seem
Um,
like a game.
It
talking
is. It is in
about-
fact a
Heavily.
video game.
I played it a bit, and it did seem like I booted up the video game and had a good time.
I was gonna say that the art style seems like they're kind of going for something kind of similar to how Halo 3 and Halo Reach have like those timeless looks. Like, you know, obviously they're dated. They look like older games, but they're games that you don't play and be like, wow, this looks like dog shit like CE. Like, you know, I feel like Halo's Infinite it's gonna be one of those games that is around for quite some time. I mean, shit, you know, Fortnite is doing it with their cartoon look. You know, they've been doing it for how many years now? I'm pretty sure this game will do just fine.
Are you talking about in terms of its looks?
But yeah,
Well,
looks
I
and
think
gameplay. I think gameplay is a lot of fun.
if you're
And
talking about
looks like
looks,
it's I don't know. I like the way it looks.
I like the way it looks too, but I think if you're talking about looks, it's not what some people would tweet looks like the most beautiful next gen game ever. Definitely not that. It's good looking, but it's not revolutionizing anything.
No,
But
it looks
on
like
that
a
space,
video game.
yeah, it's like a modern game. Like I understand you guys haven't had a new Halo game in many years. You've been playing MCC that's like decades old, but this is a modern game that
Yeah,
is not
it just looks like a game.
breathtaking.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, like I will say the visibility in this is leaps and bounds better than fucking Vanguard. That entire
That is-
game felt like I was playing with the Gaussian blur filter just on my game.
Yeah, and that's what someone said, dude. Like, we're kind of in an era of gaming for FPS games where looks don't really matter at all. Like, people just
Nah.
want really good frames and a game to be visibly good and like play well.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
we're not,
just
we
want
don't
a
want to.
game.
It just needs to have like a decent art style and run well on a wide variety of systems, and that's all that matters. I mean, people
game
still play
looking-
fucking World of Warcraft and League of Legends. Go look at those games and tell me those are
Yeah.
graphical powerhouses. It's like, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Especially
a game looking beautiful is like one of the bottom things for a multiplayer game.
multiplayer specifically. Single player games, it's a little more important that they look good.
That's a
but
different audience and different thing. Like, that's what you go for.
yeah.
You want to be immersed.
It's like I also said too for games like GTA 5, like you play the story mode and you play the online aspect. Obviously, in order to make sure that online is compatible with all the players that are in the server and all that stuff that's going on, they have to, pull back the graphics. So I feel like maybe the story mode of Halo Infinite is going to be like, okay, we're going to slam the graphics. We're going to give you max foliage, max clouds, birds, bird poop, bird balls, everything. Like I feel like they're gonna really go crazy on the graphical aspect, but just for multiplayer, they tone it down to make sure that everyone's playing at the same performance level.
Yeah, you want to know something that might be like an odd take? So obviously, like PCs are stronger than consoles, right? And you'll frequently like people will quote like a perk of PC gaming is graphical fidelity. I actually think that multiplayer games on PC generally, like they try to be so inclusive that it usually ends up being like a less graphically intensive game than if it was just a console game.
Yeah.
Because they want people on like a 6-year-old PC to still be able to play.
I mean, if you look at Valorant,
Yeah, I mean
you definitely-
Valorant
you
looks
definitely
fine,
can
but
see
it's
they had that in mind that it should be able to be played in very minimum requirements.
yeah, for sure. I mean, League of Legends runs on like a literal toaster. Like you can play that shit on
Yeah,
like a
You can play
Chromebook.
on your fridge, on your smart fridge.
Hell yeah, baby.
But back to like the longevity thing, I think the real things that we need to look at is like someone said, the progression system, because people love that in Halo. It's always been a thing, like in Halo 3, Halo Reach,
Mm-hmm.
H5, MCC. If you're a nutcase and want to grind the XP on there, and
Yeah,
then
that's true. I completely forgot. Yeah, forgot. No
yeah,
progression system. That's going to be a problem with me.
yep,
And depending on how the ranking system works and whether or not you can see your rank from each season, like in the game, like that will have an impact on how long I play the game for sure.
yep, and then community. Like if we get Forge soon enough, because Forge is a big part of Halo's community. The comp scene is an entire thing of its own. Like how long is that gonna last? And the campaign, like how much replayability is there gonna be? Like how much content is there gonna be added? Like we know there's DLC confirmed. There's a lot of aspects that Infinite needs to hit on for the longevity of the game.
Kind of heard a good argument, or rather read on Reddit, where somebody said that if we're thinking about how long it's gonna take to bring in co-op and Forge, to think that maybe that's because the game is just so the campaign mode is gonna be so massive, or the assets that they have. Because didn't they also come out and say that the multiplayer was gonna launch with like 26 like full maps?
Are you
Did
talking
they
Or was
about
it
for
like
Infinite?
yeah?
Nah,
I think it
that
was a
that
leak.
was that
It
was
was a
just
leak.
that was just data mine shit. We're not getting that many maps.
Yeah, there's no. I can never. That would be a first for Halo.
Yeah,
it's
that
just a leak.
was how many maps were data mined out of the files, but that just means like
Maps they have in the back, but like
Yeah.
they're working on it, but not going to be available.
or
I
like could just be scrapped maps too.
like if you look at Apex, that game released with 8 what are they called, legends, but
Yeah.
they had like 30 or some ridiculous amount of legends like already
Mhm.
planned.
Yeah, they already
and
had like
designed.
they'd done some level
content.
of work on them. Yeah,
It's just part of the development process.
but yeah,
But we'll see. In the next phase, just only B2B on like
yeah.
that one map.
Unfortunately, it's just one map. Unless they surprise us, I think that might get a little boring.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
actually might. Yeah, I
the
didn't think
map
about
looks
that.
beautiful and maybe be really fun, but definitely gonna get sick of playing it over and over again.
Arena's still available this weekend though, so you could switch
Oh, is
back.
it?
Yeah,
Oh, it
yeah.
is?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can
sick.
you can still
go,
play
let's
Arena.
go.
And it's all the Arena stuff too. Like it has all the objective modes, so you can just swap back if you want.
So the only thing they're adding is the BTB, or are they gonna be like changing a bit of things?
No, I think the only thing they're adding is BTB.
Okay, and that's October 1st to 3rd, right?
It's just Friday to Saturday. Galaxy
Oh.
said, "Damn, Halo really do be like Splitgate." I don't really
Kind
know.
of weird. Like when I was playing this game, I just couldn't help thinking like, wow, this is kind of like Splitgate, but without portals.
It
I
feels a
saw
little
them
bit
tweet.
when everyone's using the AR. It feels like I'm fucking playing Splitgate.
Yeah, except in the AR and Splitgate is like
Oh,
nutty, and same with the SMG.
Yeah, the autos in Splitgate are fucking the Halo autos on crack. They're so strong.
Yeah, the game is like the opposite of Halo, whereas in Halo you want to have the precision weapon over the automatic, but in Splitgate it's the reverse.
Delta, if I could answer that question for you, I would be inside the mind of 343. And I could explain all their weird choices. I have no clue, man. I have no clue why you can't just fucking play the game. I don't know why you have to have an invite code from a friend. It's weird.
Yeah, especially when they're just adding BTB. Like, why? Why the fuck are they? All right, next weekend, right after. Like,
Oh,
I don't know.
do you guys think we have another flight before launch, or is this weekend the last one?
I
I
think
could
that's
see
it.
a
I think we
very
get one more.
yeah, like November, a very open one. Just everyone's just
Like a more of a traditional marketing beta?
yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
that one
I
will
could
be
see
forward
that.
to more closer to the fuller game.
Yeah, I think maybe we get one like early to mid-November that's basically just the game with limited content.
Yeah,
Do
I-
but
I
they,
could see
do they
that.
play campaign?
No, not a chance. Why would they?
Nothing. I don't know.
I don't think you flight campaign ever. Even like even even in an ideal like even if they're worried the campaign has issues, I don't know why you'd flight it. Like that's
You
something you
really
want
want-
to keep.
you really trust 343 to do
Yeah,
a campaign beta where
but
they
maybe-
could data mine everything?
Oh yeah,
and
you'll
just
probably
leak
be able to play
everything?
the whole campaign if they flight campaign.
Well, I mean, people can
Yeah.
data mine shit anyway, so
Fuck it.
I just figure like a lot of people may have decided not to get the campaign because of the co-op thing. They got to show people how good the campaign is, convince them to
I
buy
already
it.
decided I'm
mean-
not getting campaign until co-op is available.
Yeah, you can just wait. Plus, once it comes out, people will say like, "Oh, it's good. Oh, it sucks." And some people that decided they weren't going to get it because of co-op, if they hear a lot of people raving about it, I think they'll pick it up early.
Yeah, maybe.
So,
Yeah, maybe they should do some beta key drops on Mixer.
yes, I think this weekend we should all stream on Mixer.
Let's
sure,
go.
for sure.
And
Sounds like
enable
a
drops
great
so
idea.
people can get in on the open beta in November 22nd.
I-
Get yours today.
I think the real question, BHB, is do we see anything campaign related before release? Not a flight, but do we see anything? Do we get like another gameplay snippet? Do we get another trailer? Is anything more campaign related come?
I hope we see something. I hope they don't do what Halo 5 did, where there was like complete playthroughs of several missions before the launch of that game. And like, it was spoiling shit for me. I don't know why the hell they did that, but I would like to see, some campaign trailers and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't really. They just played through full levels of the Halo 5 campaign.
Oh yeah, there was full playthroughs of the Halo 5 campaign, like certain missions on like YouTube. People were allowed to play it.
Oh, that's
and
weird.
upload it. It was just ridiculous. BHB,
Joe
you're gonna play
Staten
Battlefield
said
beta?
there's
Yeah.
going to be more campaign footage.
His
All
name
right,
isn't BHB anymore. It's PopQ2.
Yeah, but it's BHB here.
It's actually
Is it
bringing
Staten or
BHB back.
Staten?
Oh, I don't know.
Staten.
Staten
Staten
maybe.
Island.
That's Staten.
Staten. I'm going with Staten.
I just call him Joe Mama, you know?
True.
Pops.
Pops. He's an old ass man.
Hey, Pops.
People called me that. That's what it was, man. Like,
How do you get a friend? How do you get a code for your friend? It should have emailed to you, Rixel.
Just open your Nintendo Switch and get your Nintendo Switch friend code, and then send a friend request to your friend's codes, and then you can go play 'em.
Hey, Shy, thank you for the sub. Yeah, you have to get your friend code off the Switch to invite your friend for sure.
Your Nintendo friend
No,
code.
you're gonna have to log into your Pop Tropica account and then you're gonna be able-
I honestly forgot my login for that. I think I'm fucked.
That's too
I
bad.
haven't played that in
Damn.
years.
So, when do you guys think MCC season 8 comes out?
Hey, I forgot they haven't pushed that out yet. What the
oh,
fuck?
that hasn't happened yet.
No.
Play
Uh,
ended like weeks ago.
Oh
Kind of
yeah,
been waiting for it, to be honest. I've been waiting for the view model offsets.
that's true.
After it's next. It's after this second.
Yeah.
BTB.
I'm kind of right there with you. Did you? Okay, this isn't a big deal, but last weekend during the Infinite flight, 343's the MCC team put out a blog post about modding. Could you have worse timing? It was the Friday night of the fucking Infinite
Oh.
flight.
Maybe they forgot. Fuck, we gotta put this. It was supposed to be on Wednesday, guys. Cameron, this is your job, dude. Like, I know you're an intern and everything, but
It came out and I was playing Infinite, and I remember thinking like, oh, I'm gonna read that, Never read it. Didn't even open it.
Well, maybe it was bad news, so that's why they did that.
They tried to hide it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said maybe smoked if they could get him done. I think is it 3 and 2? Is that the next one's coming? You might be right. Okay.
No,
Well, I don't think I have anything else. Chat, do you have questions?
What's your favorite color?
Sir, my
Number
favorite color is
11.
brown. Like my turds.
Hey, no one asked that in chat. Who asked? No one. ask.
Delta just said yellow.
Yellow.
Why am I so bad at Halo? That is a good question.
What's your favorite Nickelback song?
Never heard of that one song, Hero?
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah.
My favorite song.
Dude,
Yeah.
I actually can't, off the top of my head, name a title for a Nickelback song, but as soon as they come on, you know they're fucking ingrained into your mind.
What do you mean
No,
you
yeah.
can't think of it? One of their song names.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of a
I just-
title.
Oh, come on.
Are you guys on like the bandwagon? Like, oh, Nickelback is bad.
No, I mean, they were way
Well,
overplayed.
Well, they
They're
have
way
that one
fucking
really good
overplayed.
song, like "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Fucking Nickelback and Nirvana, what's the difference?
What do you mean?
It's
It's the same lead singer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
they both have ramen here.
Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
what do you guys think Total Control is gonna be?
Ooh.
Oh, the game
Oh,
mode?
Yeah, the
that
game
sounds
mode.
like a Dominion type of thing from Halo 4.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
How do you guys
So-
feel about the progressing vehicle spawns in BTB?
I feel like they're funny as heck.
I don't know how that's gonna work.
They
What-
said like
what
at the start of the game, like weaker vehicles will spawn, and then like as the game progresses, like the game will start with like mongooses and ghosts and warthogs, but then as the game progresses, those same vehicle spawns will turn into like tanks and shit.
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the sound of any of that. Like the weapons dropping down mid match and all that. I'm okay with just static vehicles and static weapon spawns from the beginning. I don't think that's a problem.
Do you
What
think
about
in-
how I wish it was?
dynamic? It's all about the
Oh,
dynamo.
we didn't actually talk about this too much. I actually hate this system currently, where like even in arena, the weapons are dynamic, like game to game.
Oh yeah.
give
I-
give
for
me
combat,
give me
So that's
static
gonna have to
spawns,
change for
please.
comp because you don't want anything that's RNG.
Yeah, there's no way that stays for comp. But even social, I think static spawns would be better.
Social, I can understand because
Yeah.
it changes like a game. Like every game's a different experience based on the weapons. In terms of like, obviously the BR and Commando, if it's Commando one game, BR game, it's not gonna change much. But
Yeah, I
like,
was gonna say, how much does
terms of-
that really change the
in
game
terms
though?
of power weapons, it could be different.
Yeah, like one game you get the skewer and you're just mad it's not the sniper.
yeah, yeah,
like fucking okay.
exactly.
Yeah, like the skewer. I don't know. Like when live fire went bottom mid, the weapon spawn there was either the heat wave or the bulldog.
Yeah,
I'd usually pick it up if it was the bulldog, but
leave it if it was the heat wave.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I had fun with the
That's how it
bulldog. I'm
was.
just saying. I know it's like could be a little better, but it was fun to use.
Aziodud said, "Stop the skewer slander."
Hashtag fuck the
All
right.
Screw the skewer.
How many maps do we get at launch? Do you want any map remakes, and which one would you want to see the most?
At least 3 maps at launch, please.
At least minimum.
Yeah, I want
I think it's
Coagulation
13.
remade, and I want the Truth remade, and I want Shrine, and then the
Yes.
entire cartographer mission.
This
Sad on
is
that.
this
That's
post
still
is
multi-
really long. Theta, is there anything in here?
I
It's like-
think in the recent data mine shit though.
Oh, and
I think it
Skyline,
shows
Skyline, 100%.
Pogline. I think it
Pogline.
shows 13 maps for a launch, and I think that is believable.
That's believable. Yeah. How many
So, like-
comp maps do you think we need to have a
5.
healthy? Yeah, I think 5 is
5.
good. 5, I think
need
six would be cool, but I think 5
We
is
already have
plenty.
2 stronghold maps.
Yeah,
I
but I
can't
don't
imagine
want to
them-
play fucking.
Yeah, I
either of
know,
those.
but like, there's that like we're just gonna have to end up playing those ones.
Yeah.
Slayer,
about 5.
with what we have, Slayer can work on literally anything.
Yeah.
Right now, we don't have a good flag map. If they put Behemoth as it, it's gonna be very Pepega.
There's no way they're gonna do comp with
Behemoth
vehicles.
could work as flag, and I don't know 100% they're gonna use that for flag. What other comp game modes are they gonna have?
Theta, is
Some
that why?
gameplay.
Is that why fucking Rejected Shotgun has been posting like weird modded shit? Did he get access to the tools early? This explains so much.
The Among Us shit?
Yeah, and he did another one where there was a Roblox character.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, this explains so much because they flighted H3 mod tools to specific community members. Well, there you go. Look, I
Ah.
learned something today.
All right, I think now is the perfect time that we introduce Ricochet as a competitive game mode. We got Grapple Hook and Repulsor. It would be the most perfect game.
It could work. It could work.
It'd be
That could actually
so
be
fun.
fun, honestly.
It'd be so fun.
What about Schwat
You
guns?
just someone throws you the ball and you just repulse it into the goal, like oh my, like or you just
And
grapple.
then I toss a drop ball to block it.
Yeah, and then like you could just like grapple midair, catch the ball, fucking throw it to your team.
Bro, that would legit be fun.
Yeah,
We gotta.
yeah, but we need
Put
we
Ricochets in
need
it.
maps like made for Ricochet. It can't be just slapped on to Behemoth or some bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's so much potential and they're just sleeping. 343 are resin sleepers right now. The potential's there. In fact, I'm gonna tweet out to every 343 dev on Twitter right now and say bring Ricochet back.
The dart hasn't been in the game, Professor. In the flights.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
it was.
which was it in last flight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it wasn't in this flight.
And it didn't really do
I
much
forgot.
because we were playing bots and you didn't need it.
I forgot about it. Against the bots, I just held W the whole time.
Yeah.
So, Dan Demand, there's gonna be a BR at some point. We don't know when, but
No, the battle rifle's already there.
yeah, this is true.
You may have missed it because there's
are
not
you-
many on the map, but it's there.
Smoked, are you talking about like the Scorpion and the Wraith and the Chopper and the Wasp and shit, or is there new leaks?
And the WAP.
That's a secret equipment item.
Hell yeah, baby, pull that out.
That's actually the overshield. That's not the
The WAP.
Yeah,
that white stuff is truly just the WAP.
Get whopped.
I saw
that'd be
those
great.
smoked. I do you guys think we get those vehicles this weekend? The shit that people have been posting.
I mean, it's not new vehicles, right? Like it's just returning vehicles.
You
Like
are you
rates,
you are
standards,
correct. It's all returning
And yeah.
vehicles.
I think we get those. I don't know about the. Do we get the chopper? Oh my dude, I want to
That's a
mess around with that chopper so bad. Chopper is such a fun vehicle. I hope it's in.
I hope it works just like H3 though, where it pushes people
Yes.
over.
Yes.
I'm gonna be real sad if it doesn't retain the fucking like, you know how if you like fought a Warthog in H3, you could just like flip them over and just shit on them.
Yeah.
I hope that stays.
They could easily fuck up the chopper, but
Yeah, like if
No,
they
that's
just
not
made
the
it
case.
like a weird driving ghost.
yeah, no, please no.
Yeah, Dabbles, this is old footage, my dude, from last weekend. Shock rifle's cool. Do you think we'll get the Razor back? Oh, I forgot they showed us that. Probably
I do. I think
May-
we're gonna. I think we'll have most of the vehicles, honestly.
maybe, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, as yo dude, maybe there's some cool vehicles they haven't accidentally leaked to us yet.
Babe, but the guns. 343. If there's one thing 343 does, is they always add like really good new gun ideas.
Will Halo Infinite have a boat?
Ooh,
Well, is there gonna
naval
be
battles.
that would if they make a BTB map that has prominent like water, that actually could be cool. Like as a
Get some islands. Like
Yeah,
one
like,
island is the
like-
flag, where the flag is for the enemy team, and then other island.
it could
Yes.
it could be fun. Like if you had like maybe a specific route that was aquatic.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we will. I think we'll see a boat.
All right, fair enough.
I do.
Can't wait to see
Little
the
speedboat.
Halo boat. But if you fall
Good.
out, if you
Oh,
fall
wait,
out of the
wait, wait.
boat, do you instantly die or can you swim?
Here's my idea. You get the two islands connected by a
You're too heavy,
drawbridge,
son, or you
and
die.
the boats can like go under this bridge. So there's people fighting on the bridge. So you can have like vehicles on that. It's a big bridge, and then you have vehicles or you have boats under the bridge and all around it fighting. That'd be pretty sick. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Yes. And then we slap on Ricochet.
Okay, so there's eight maps on this plus the 4 we already have, plus the 5 we already have. So yeah, that's 13. That makes sense. And then a bunch of forged canvases.
But some of those are like gonna be BTB maps, right?
I assume so, yeah.
Yep. And then I'm sure we're gonna have more 4v4 vehicle maps.
These
and
have
then,
to be
like I've been
placeholder names, right? They are not naming a map fucking streets, are they?
Yeah.
Summer
Streets.
Street.
And what's that one map? Solidary or
Solid shit.
Solitude.
Solitude? Yeah, that's
Oh
a
my
Solace
god, the
remake.
entire
That's a Solace remake.
city of
Halo 4.
the entire capital of Skyrim is gonna be in Infinite.
The Scorpion can be a boat, just an aquatic boat. I'm in. Just put some floaties on
Okay.
that bitch.
Can you imagine
I want a
fighting
jet ski.
in the Blue Palace in Infinite?
Just imagine Master Chief riding a jet ski.
Yeah. And it can go airborne too.
Hell yeah. For sure.
It's like that one vehicle in GTA 5.
Did you ever play? There was they did it in Mario Kart too, but you had like, it was like the Mario Kart game that had the 3 different vehicle types, and
Yeah,
depending.
that's all Mario Kart games now.
Okay,
All
well,
the newer
I
ones.
haven't played a recent one, but yeah, like you have like your little boat, and then you hit a ramp and you become a plane, and then you land on a track.
New vehicle maybe?
It's just a flying Spartan. That's the new vehicle.
Yeah.
So I saw Mint Blitz earlier tweeting about how the kill timer for the overkill is 7 seconds. How do you guys feel about that?
Wait, what?
Let me read the
What?
exact tweet. Let me go find it.
It's good
You
for
have-
me because I can't.
You
Halo
have 7
Infinite.
seconds?
Hold on, let me go. Halo Infinite multi-kills are not 7 seconds between kills, but the timer extends per multi-kill you get. It's around 4 to 5 seconds for a triple kill and about 7 seconds for a higher multi-kill like a Killionaire.
So whereas before it was always 7 seconds?
No, I think before it was always shorter.
It-
Now
It was 4 seconds in between each multi-kill.
Oh, here we go.
Okay,
Here we go.
so
So
In three.
Unishek said the multi-kill timer begins at 5 seconds, which is what it was in Halo 5, then increases at 0.25 seconds per earned multi-kill with a hard cap of 7 seconds at the top. So basically, the further you get into it, the more time you get to chain your multi-kill together.
That just seems like an unnecessary change, and I don't like it.
It does seem like they're doing that to try and let more people hit clips, right?
Yeah, like if you can't hit it in the 4 seconds, then you don't get the multi-kill. Like, is that that's okay? You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
everyone
imagine
doesn't have to be a winner.
it'd be
Everyone
kind of
doesn't have
weird
to
if
hit Killionaires.
you hit a Killionaire and there was like 7 seconds between each kill.
That would look
That's
so
like-
awkward. Dude,
Like the time thing works because how good clips naturally work, you know?
mhm.
But like imagine you get a kill and like you fucking walk half the map and you get a double kill and then you walk half map again and triple.
Real quick, I'm on Reddit. I'm on the r/Halo Reddit. And did you guys see that thing? I'm pretty sure Arash linked it. It was the glitched menu that shows all the options.
Yeah. I
Like,
sent it earlier, I think.
It shows that it shows the campaign, the custom game. It also shows that it has Forge. I'm
Oh yeah, I saw
telling
that.
you, god damn it, they're tricking us, bro. They want
No,
us to
no,
think
no.
that there's no Forge,
That's
and
a
then
bad PR
they're
if
gonna
they lied
fucking
about Forge. Like, why would
be
you
like-
hurt your game's launch by saying there's gonna be no Forge?
Yeah,
What
you
you're
know,
looking
we
at is a
thought it
bug,
wasn't gonna
so
be
it's
ready by launch, but actually it is ready by launch. So here,
what you're looking at is what they're working on. Like that when they're working the game, that's what they have as their shit. But
That's true. That's true.
the retail version is not gonna have that.
Yeah, yeah. That makes
you
sense.
see theater in there, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Unishek
will be there
tweeted
at
at Golden Boy today to say that they have improved PC mouse and keyboard aiming. Oh, just PC aiming in general.
Yeah, sorry. No keyboard,
Okay.
just the mouse.
Yeah.
So your
You don't-
boot aim
you don't
will
need
be
that.
Even worse.
Aim with the mouse.
Aim with the mouse. Aim with your keyboard. Use the arrow
Ugh,
keys. Move with
Lunchy,
the
dude, if it's ready or like close to ready and they're just holding it for seasonal drops, that would be so atrocious. But I mean, games have done that. There's been games where like people have found like been able to unlock
Destiny.
content in the game that didn't come out until a later season.
That was Destiny right there. People were glitching into areas and shit. Glitching into the raids early.
Rixel, I did that a lot this flight. I would just shoot a random shot just so I could BXB people. There was no reason not to.
That's so tox.
I mean, you had to be ready. What if you wanted to BXB someone right as they ran around the corner, you know?
You can BYB them. It's quick enough.
All right, well, fair enough. Yeah, it was controller and mouse and keyboard aiming, guys. He didn't specify. I just read it wrong. Are these specific charms smoked? Oh my God! There's a cute little Master Chief weapon charm. This is amazing. Oh my God! There's a little Cortana. Oh, this is so cute. There's a fucking Xbox controller. Who's gonna put an Xbox controller on their gun, man?
Me.
The gun buddies are very
cool.
cool. They remind me of Valorant's gun buddies.
They do. They're pretty
cool they
cute.
were.
There's a fucking piece of pizza.
I want
I feel like-
animated weapon charms.
They might do
That'd be
something
next
similar
level.
to how like Reach has different firefight voices. I feel like they
Oh,
might
100%,
like through the
100%.
seasons they might drop like new DLC AI voices. Like maybe they might have fucking Master Chief in there or like Sergeant Johnson or fucking Carter from Halo Reach. Like
Just Snoop Dogg. Just like 200%. They're gonna have AIs like newer one.
Oh, they'll drop new AIs 100%. Yeah.
Let's get Mario Donald as an AI. Maybe let's get 343 Sarah and David and Fernando.
Yes.
Oh my God!
I
What
want
if you
Fernando to
could
tell me I'm a
yeah,
hero
that's what I
while
was
I'm
gonna say.
playing.
What if you could just have him in your ears like everyone can be a hero?
It's like, wow, you are my hero. Let's get Bonnie Ross as one. I want her to just girl boss
BK, you
me.
can't say that in the chat.
What did it be?
He said he was gonna smash someone's balls. Can't say
Oh
that.
yeah,
You gotta be careful.
Can't be doing that. What?
That's
Why
not
did he say
the-
that in all caps?
He's just
he
very
meant it.
angry.
Maybe we can get like Walshy as one. That'd be pretty awesome.
FB Walshy for the win.
Yeah, but he's only
Talk
like
to them, tell him.
what was he like the 6th best player of all time?
No, he was lower
Was
than that.
he?
No,
Is
he was
is
lower
that
than
why
that.
he's like famous? I thought he was just like a clip channel. To be honest.
What?
Oh my God,
Whoa.
dude! You realize that clip channel wasn't him, right?
It's not.
No, that's some random
Bruh.
person.
Oh no.
Yo,
Monkey,
how has it
most
not been
known for
taken
his
down
YouTube
yet?
channel.
What the?
Because you can't take down a channel because it has the name FB Walshy for the win.
But if that's your name, isn't that like
That's
copyright infringement or something
Identity
like that?
theft.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
I'm gonna go create a Twitter called A Rash. I'm gonna tweet the most horrendous. post
Thank you.
ever.
Please do. Oh, Walshy was the 8th best player of all time, boys.
Damn, it's
How'd you guys feel about the top 25?
Oh my God! You know,
I don't know
need to
any
go-
of these
I
people,
don't
though.
want to think about that list. You know,
I'm just gonna assume it's all wrong because I don't know. I don't know
I
these
think
people.
like everyone was saying, like they were just doing that for impressions. Infinite's coming out, they
Oh.
just
Obviously, Uber Nick is the best player of all time.
BK wants us to talk about grapple jacking. We talked about it during the vehicle section a little bit.
Yeah, we did talk about it. You were just tabbed out
Yeah,
watching your.
I think it's really strong. I don't know how I feel about it.
I talked about this earlier with BK. What they need to do is not make it so as soon as you grapple them, they'll just automatically do the work of hijacking it for you. Like, what the fuck? It's the easiest shit ever.
You
and
need to
that's the problem
hold the
with it.
square.
Yeah, exactly. You need a grapple. The grapple will just bring you to it, but then it's your job to hijack it afterwards. And like,
Yeah,
If
maybe
you
not,
miss it, you miss it.
not perfectly fucking lock you on the vehicle.
it
Like,
should be
just
like a QTE that's
grapple
like
on a
2
wall and
frames
just
long.
pulls you to the wall. Like, it's just an object that it should pull you to it, and then you can hijack it from there.
Yeah.
Even then, it might still be too much, but
I don't know exactly what the physics are like, but like, what if you're grappling like a Warthog, and like the Warthog like whips you around and like slaps you into a wall and
Hey,
kills
that'd
you?
be funny.
That would be
killed you,
like a Pathfinder
that
type
works?
thing.
Yeah, like what if that works? That'd be sick.
You
Funny
just
if it
go
quit.
flying off the map.
Yeah.
Or like, you know how you can
And
kill someone with a
funny infinite
repulsor if
moments.
you fling with the
Yeah,
wall?
yeah. Something I was thinking like that, smacking
Yeah,
against
like,
the
you
wall by
just-
whipping it around.
grapple whip a guy into the wall and he dies.
Yes.
That'd be fucking cool.
Did
Like,
you
fuck how
guys? Did you guys get grapple jacked at all this weekend and then drive the person off the map?
No.
No.
I did that once. It
just
was
got kicked in the nuts.
it was so much fun. Because
Yeah, tell me
you have like a good amount of time to like react to it. So like if you're close to the edge of the map, you can just drive them off the edge because it auto makes them like jack it. So that, you know.
I do wish that the stun was a little bit more intense for when you hijack a car and then the person gets out. Like, I feel like they recover too fast, and you could just
Yeah,
counter. You could
they
just run up
can
behind them and
yeah
slap
they
'em.
can get back for sure.
It's kind of scary.
What do you
think
about being
like
able to push the flag with the vehicles?
that's
Yeah, I saw
dumb.
that with the ghost. That's ridiculous.
That's so
yeah,
dumb.
you can't. That can't be a thing at
They need
all.
to make it so it doesn't get hooked on vehicle parts. It just like there's like
Yeah.
a soft barrier on the vehicle and it'll just push off of it. Like
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
too
mean?
broken.
I mean, in old games, it just went through the vehicles. It should just do that again.
Or that
Yeah.
too. Either way.
Yeah.
BK, what time is it in Paint's world?
Like 5 hours ahead. So
I think it's like 6 hours ahead. Oh,
No,
yeah,
5
5 for you. Yeah, I
Nice.
think it's like
Yeah,
6 a.m. his time.
Pain, it's pretty late for you.
Oh, did
Surprised
Paint
you.
is Paint in chat?
Pain's right here talking to us. The fuck you
Oh,
talking about?
sorry.
Yeah, I was right
sorry.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably need to get to bed. Late for you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really late.
All right.
early in
And
the
you're at
morning.
school now.
I
so imagine
think it's time to wrap it up anyways. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll probably do another one of these next week after the BTB flight. Might not be as long since I don't think the BTB flight will add as much stuff to talk about. But we can talk about some BTB.
I could talk about loot caves for 3 hours.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll talk about specifically every
For that,
loot cave
bro.
interaction that we
Yeah.
each have, and
and the lore behind it.
Fernando got me feeling weird.
I'm gonna be a hero this weekend. So, all right.
Michael poke him on Facebook.
Hey, thanks for watching, everyone. If you guys want to find the people in Jesus, okay. If you want to find BHB, his YouTube channel is Pop Q2 now. So go check out his stuff. Sempra makes YouTube videos. You just
Watch
search
those videos, please. I hope I'd say please
search
watch it.
Sempra
Like,
Valorant
subscribe,
Family.
comment.
That's the only way you'll find it.
Like, subscribe, comment. My newest video. Go, please.
That's true. Here, we'll link Sempra's newest video in chat for everyone.
Let's go.
Hold on, we'll pull it up real quick.
There you go. I think that's it right there. It's
Let's
still...
have a community
there you go.
watch. We'll just
Perfect.
watch
Wait,
it on stream.
Wait. Let me check something. I don't think
Live
4K,
reaction?
Yeah.
That's
We're-
okay.
4K is not ready.
And there you go. Sumo linked his own channel in chat. So there you go.
Sempra
Go
links
for
his
it.
channel.
Sempra's video has 10 views currently. At the end of this, it better at least have 25. Okay.
At the very least.
At the very least. But all right. Thanks everyone for watching. Let's go raid someone. Let's go
Let's
find someone to raid.
This guy came back. Is like, yo, Rush, it's been a while. Sorry, man.
Oh, hey,
I
what's
came
up,
at the end of the
Forgotten?
stream. He's like,
Let's
"Yo,
raid
Rush, it's been a
Derek.
while.
I feel
Sorry,
like
man.
Kid
I
Oh, hey,
came
what's
at
up,
the
All
end
right.
of the stream."
We're watching my own stream apparently. We'll raid.
Whoa, dude. Epic.
Whoa, Amaranth.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
okay.
I follow her. You know, gotta do what you gotta do. All right. Well,
He's-
we'll raid Mr. Kevin.
How many ASM artists do you have on your follow list?
0.
Oh my god, it's Myth. The best Halo player in the entire planet.
Oh,
What
you
are-
should have rated T-Pain.
Dude, I don't think T-Pain needs my raid, man. I think that guy's got enough money from I'm in love with the stripper. All right, thanks everyone for watching. I will be back streaming this weekend. I'm not going to stream Thursday because I don't want to play MCC. But yeah, we'll be back with BTB this weekend. So thanks everyone for watching. It was fun.